Hey, lay off. Don't talk about my mom that way.
Your mom. Wait, we're on?
Yeah.
Your mom. Hello,
Do,
everybody.
do, 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 do.
And his name is John Cena!
What a buzzkill.
Let's do it.
No one is ever gonna watch our stuff.
Never.
Most people only watch like the first 5 seconds of something.
And they're like, oh crap, what is this?
Yeah.
What did we just get ourselves?
Damn. Recap.
Recap mode over 1,000.
But no cap.
But no caps?
Right.
Can I want to talk like Mr. Torg? Lots of explosions! I got totally make a character like that. We need a character like that again. Okay, here's the recap. Where's my recap? Oh, there it is. I know I did one. Like, oh no, wait a second. We just did this yesterday. I may not have done that, but I did actually. I did last night. Reacquainting themselves with the town, the party immediately heads off to resupply at the Lion Shield Coster. It's Coster or Coaster? I don't even know. It's Coster, yeah. This Coaster sounds weird. There they find Lenine toiling away in quite the similar way she had when last they visited. The shelves and walls were stocked with plenty of martial goods. The store, much like the town itself, seemed to be in a much better position than last they left it. Lenine recognizing the group, addressing them accordingly, Tavith inquiring to the special order he had made before they left. She remembers and goes off to the back room to find an item. Acknowledging Mahi being a paladin and asking him to watch the store while she steps out, since her assistant Dilbert decided not to come in for work that day. Meanwhile, Python takes this opportunity to stealthily tuck away a few daggers, which catches the attention of both the vigilant paladin and the newest member of the group, who shortly makes his way towards the end, leaving the rest of the group to deal with their current fate. Mahi concedes to giving Python her space to do what she will, and turns a blind eye.
He was like, I'm not involved. If you get in trouble, it's your own dumb fault.
And so she blatantly steals a third dagger before the rest of the group finally catches on, and openly starts discussing the recent moral choices of the party thus far.
Tor starts discussing.
Eventually, one of the town's guardsmen enters the building from the main entrance and closely watches the other patrons. While shortly thereafter, Lenine returns with a leather cape in hand made from what looks to be wolf fur. She nervously mentions hearing the prior conversation before asking the guard outside to intervene, and will consider forgetting anything immoral since the group had previously saved the town and the store, but not without first subjecting themselves to just a friendly little search, just in case one of them decided to go through with any of the petty theft talk that was going around. Tor, confident that she has nothing to hide, shows herself to the guard and proceeds to find Angelo at the end. In the meantime, Lenine displays the cape for Tavi, and it begins to sell him on its benefits, craftsmanship, explaining that for one as naked at Tavi, he'd feel more protective, quite intimidating if he were to purchase the cape. However, even with the discount for trading the pelt in, Tavi still attempts to haggle down the price with Lenine, in which case Lenine is persuaded to actually give the cape away for free, providing that Tavith would actually help her with a little problem she's been having recently. Apparently, a familiar to the group, purple-skinned tiefling, had shown up in town not more than several weeks ago, proceeded to buy a ton of her goods with a discount, and then proceeded to set up shop right around the corner in the town square, hawking those same goods, but slightly embellishing on perhaps how they're mundane or not the properties of said objects seem to be, and to a rather gullible public. What's worse, though, the same customers returned back to her, complaining about the lack of magical properties they were promised, and since they are all branded by the Lion Shield Coster, having to deal with the customer service expectations and lose business in the process, something she has been very aggravatingly trying to deal with for quite some time. Therefore, she stealthily requested Tavith, which of course was overheard by the rest of the group anyway, with the exception of Mahi, that if he would be so kind as to take care of the problem for her, Now, Tavith, not being the brightest in the group and forgetting he had met this particular tiefling before, gladly accepts the request, regardless of any ill intent that might befall the troublemaking merchant. Via Tavith's usual methods of taking care of someone. As for the rest, Pyth and Mahi both consult with Lenine on the aspects of purchasing and replacing their stolen shields. Mahi eventually requests and prepays for a custom-made shield, one that would emblazon his order's emblem upon the shield. And Pyth requested something a little bit more on the bland, generic nature, something that she did not take a liking to the blatantly advertisement that was going on display. Having prepaid for his... having already prepaid, Mahi is allowed to leave without any further searching, while Tavi similarly, as Tor, has little to hide, and subjects himself also before the guard. Finally, Pythavin attempts to leave, with hidden daggers carefully stowed away and what questionable and concealment type her outfit allows, but does attempt to show the guard one of the daggers, hopefully trying to deceive them into believing that she had purchased this, actually, the last time she was here. However, another search reveals one of the other hidden daggers she neglected to mention, in which case Pythavin agrees to go ahead and pay for this one upon the suspicion that she was sus, while allowing her to walk out with 3 daggers, having only paid for one.
Incredible.
Incredible. She catches up with Tavith as they discuss his recent quest and proceed to find the others at the inn. While the events in the store were transpiring, meanwhile, Tor meets up with Angelo at the inn, who has been waiting to question the party about their adventures thus far, and to discern anything he can about them, both personally and professionally. Tor proceeds to tell Angelo all about, with as much detail as Tor can muster, despite Angelo's urging to keep it as brief and to the point as possible.
That was not as much detail as she could muster.
She actually did do her best after the initial minute.
She
if you
tried.
recall.
She tried.
She did make a conscious effort to try to keep it short and simple, and then fell off the tracks again when they got to the orc. But that was the last thing that she mentioned. So
Just fell off the bandwagon again. Meanwhile, Mahi, after leaving the store, attempts to find Sildar back at the Townmaster Hall to inquire about the potential mailing of a letter to his wife back at Helm's Hold, which Sildar claims would be possible once Mahi actually writes the letter. Eventually, the party all converge upon the inn and join in with the rest of Angelo's questioning. While mostly recapping the adventure, Angelo attempts to discover more specific details about the Black Spider, the map case, the drow, and finally the conversation eventually lands upon Corlin and his recent involvement, which tends to upset both the paladin and our cleric. Hitting a nerve and pushing those buttons, Pyth storms out while Mahi attempts to deflect from any shady past he might have had with said either racial or other underlying tendencies. Angelo, having heard what he needed to hear, retires for the moment back to his room to reflect and potentially put the puzzle pieces together, while the remaining members of the group awkwardly decides what's their next move. And there we come back to the Stonehill Inn, where we have Tavith and Mahi and Tor.
I think Mahi actually left.
Did you leave, Mahi? I think
might
we're still
left.
there.
Yeah, he was-
I left to go
planning
get
to.
some
Oh,
paper.
okay, yeah. You were. That's right. You were leaving to go buy stuff, and so
The
Tor
only
and
two
Tavith.
actually sitting there. Yeah, we're Tor and Tavi.
Tor and Tavith. Angelo's retired. Pyth is also on her way, or she's already left, but she's in.
Pyth was going to the shrine,
She was going to the shrine.
probably
So-
to steal more money, like the hooligan she is.
So we'll go ahead and start with Tor and Tavith, and then take it from there.
So, what do you want to do?
Well,
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I kind of want to go see Vigo, but I want to see him with everybody.
I don't know. I don't know where Pyth even went.
Yeah, I
She
didn't
went
get
out.
a chance to find out where she was going. She just, like I said, they just yelled at me. Kind of hurt a little bit.
That sounds like Pyth.
Yep.
Well, we could go to the store instead.
Where do you want to go? Barthen's?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think
Let's
that's- Yeah, I think that's where Mahi might have been heading anyway, so we could just...
Perfect. I could use some stuff. I think.
Yeah, like food for when we leave town again, so that you don't nearly starve to death
Food
again.
and like a backpack. All the stuff I lost. basically.
Yeah. I can't get back all the stuff I lost. I lost the bag of holding, which hurts still. It's fine. It's fine.
And the cool bag with the elf. I mean, not the elf, but the random animal thing.
No, I still got that one.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
I do still have that one. Yeah, big thing I lost was that bag of holding and everything in it, which was all of our food. Izator stands up. Okay, let's go.
And I march out behind her.
And we basically go to catch up with Mahi because he was heading that way.
And we're there. Okay. Meanwhile, Angelo, alone in his room.
Sus.
Yes.
Sabotage.
He is pretty much just like holding the paper with all the questions and stuff, and he has this pipe in his mouth, and he's walking back and forth in the room, kind of like muttering to himself, trying to figure out where on earth the black spider could be, who the black spider could be, and what the next step is.
Well, Tavi told you what the black spider was when she
Okay,
was...
well, yes, and I'm not completely... He is not completely ruling that out, but...
He's a spider and he's black.
Itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout.
That was
That was nice. I like that.
Cue the hamster movie.
nursery rhymes are creepy.
But they worked.
They do.
They didn't when I was a kid.
Is that all that Angelo has to share?
That's pretty much all
That's the gist of
Angelo's...
it.
That's pretty much all Angelo's doing, yeah.
Angelo put himself out of role-playing realm. Very well. Then, let's go to Pythavan now. So,
The
Pythavan,
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. So, you are waddling. You are waddling into the bustling.
Waddling.
You're waddling. You're a penguin now. Polymorph. So you see, you're pretty much in the middle of the town square at this point. Hustle and bustle back and forth. There is, of course, the shrine is to the right of you from your position, and then directly ahead on the other side of the Lion Shield Coster, across the way, you do see a table set up with kind of a weird sign in front of it. You can't really see. It looks like kind of a makeshift type of thing, and there's a few people that are kind of hovering around it.
Yeah, do I see Vigo over there?
You don't really see anyone at this point. You can kind of see in between the people. You can see, there's a table there, and there's about 2 or 3 people that are kind of hovering over it, standing in front of the table.
Well, I'm gonna go look at that, because is the square busy at the moment? Is anyone near the shrine?
The square's kind of busy now. Nobody's really. You're kind of like in the middle of the road, so I mean everybody's kind of whizzing by, from all directions for the most part. As far as the shrine goes, the shrine looks fairly empty. There is kind of a crooked individual. You're not really sure, some type of a humanoid, but their cloak is way over their head, and they're kind of leaning down, sitting on the ground in front of the shrine. They have a little alms box handed out, and just kind of swaying it back and forth, not really paying attention. Everything looks like they're almost like focused and staring at the ground.
I would like to make sure that my amulet is tucked into my dress, and then go over and kind of inspect this person closer.
All right, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check for me.
Okay. Well.
A 12?
No,
okay.
That was a well.
Oh, a well. Well means a natural 1. Did you get a natural 1?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Drops it.
So as Python kind of realizes she's kind of in the center of the road here, kind of people are, somewhat kind of bumping into her. No one's really paying much attention. She doesn't, by herself, she doesn't draw too much attention. But she gets a sense of nervousness, and so she starts to kind of get a little panicky, breathing heavy. And so she quickly grabs her amulet and tries to stuff it down her shirt, but all of a sudden, dink! And you feel like the clasp behind it breaks, and the amulet falls to the ground, hits it on its side, and kind of rolls like a coin all the way into the center of the street. And people are, at this present moment, kind of walking over it. Nobody so far has stopped to pick it up.
Immediate anxiety attack. I am chasing, I am shoving people out of the way to get this amulet back. I do not care how much attention it draws.
So a couple of people are like, whoa, hey, I'm walking here. And so Python scrambles. Go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
See if you fall straight on your face.
See how graceful you are here.
Yeah, 19.
Oh, nice. All right. So you, nobody watches this, but those who are watching from on high, we all see Python do this Apex Legends slide
the camera
into
sees.
the ground. The camera sees, for all you viewers at home. Apex Legends slides into the street, scooping up the amulet, and then quickly, almost somersaulting into a upright and non-prone position. Cool.
She's cleaning it off. I lost my handkerchief.
You're like, oh man, I hate it when that happens. And you kind of look around and passively, nobody that you noticed at least noticed. Yeah, you got a couple of stares when it was happening, and you saw one little kid kind of stop and clap a little bit. And then their parent kind of rushed them along. That was pretty much it.
If anyone recalls, Pyth was given this amulet, so she's just gonna clean it off on her dress. She doesn't care if it gets the dress dirty. She cares about the amulet.
Now you do notice that one of the links at the end of it is broken, which is why it fell.
Pyth just kind of curses to herself in Elvish, because where is she gonna get this fixed?
I don't know. You might have something that can
fix things.
Mending.
Oh yeah, I'm so smart, thank you.
Honestly,
Talbot moment. Little Talbot moment there.
Not a cleric.
Oh
Everyone's
God.
saying at the same time.
honestly,
Jeez.
we
I
need
gotta
the
fix my
metagaming
necklace.
pigeon. We need the metagaming pigeon from Critical Role.
I'm mending.
That's how.
Just pipe, you hear a thunderclap in the distance, and the echoing sounds. Mending.
I'm gonna fix my necklace. She still swears she does it though.
Talos is up there going, mending.
So she claps the amulet in her hand and kind of quickly kind of puts it kind of up against her chest so the emblem itself is not displayed out for everybody. And she touches the ends and kind of holds them both ends in her hands and says a little prayer and asking for forgiveness from the one who gave it to her. And then there's kind of a slight little golden beams that shoot out between her fingers, and for a slight moment when she releases, it's as good as new.
I'm gonna put it back on.
Easily done. All right. Python counter.
Still at the shrine.
As you kind of turn and you kind of take notice, kind of recollect yourself after this strenuous event, you notice that the hooded figure by the shrine is still looking at the ground, but its alms box is kind of outstretched in your direction, and you can kind of hear this frail voice come out. Copper for your thoughts.
I'm gonna pull out 1 copper and drop it in.
Kind of hear the plunk. And she kind of withdraws the box. And you see the hooded figure look inside and kind of see the hood kind of shake a little bit back and forth. Timur does not shine down on me today. How can I help you, child? You seem concerned. And now you can see that she kind of looks up at you from the ground. And you can kind of see this is kind of an elderly, elvish woman.
I appreciate the offer, but there's nothing you can offer me.
We'll never say never. Tell Sister Gyra what troubles you. I might be able to help. Offer some assistance.
Sister, it's
1 good penny to Timur
killer.
sometimes will turn into a gold piece tomorrow.
Well, you've got the copper. We'll see where the gold comes from.
And as she puts her hand inside the bucket and she pulls it out, she pulls out a gold piece. And you watch as she kind of smiles. Goes, thank Tamora. And she flips it in her finger and lands back in her palm. She snatches it and puts it in her pocket.
Pipe kind of...
From what you can tell, there was no other coins in that bucket.
Yeah, Pipe's walking away from this conversation.
You're like, kind of give the nod in the eyes, and you back up a little bit and quickly turn around and walk towards the other direction. You kind of see in your peripheral as you turn, she smiles and she waves, picks up her staff that is next to her. She sits up. You can kind of hear her crack her old bones. She goes, tomorrow's blessings on you anyway.
Pipe's just gonna mumble something in Celestial.
And then she turns, and you kind of hear her mumble something back.
Did she understand me and respond, or...?
Possibly, but you're a little bit too far away now to hear. At this point, you heard something of a mumble.
Well, I ain't going back, so...
Last you see is that she starts tending to the shrine, picking up some of the trash, and so you're kind of wiping down some of the statues there.
I'm gonna go over towards that other sus table.
All right. So as you approach and you kind of see a couple of the people have kind of wandered off, and some new townsfolk have kind of stopped by, and some people kind of look and as they're passing and continue on their way, and other people have, kind of stopped and lingered for a little bit. As you kind of get in between the little crowd that has appeared here, you do see a kind of a wooden table presented, and there is a purplish tiefling on the other side of which you kind of see almost like a hand-drawn like banner, basically, that's glued to the table. What one side looks like it's glued, and the other side has like a rusty nail attached to it. And it says on the banner, Vigo's table of wondrous things that he did not totally buy from the Lion Show customer.
This man is smooth.
Pipe stares for a
Nobody.
long time at this sign, and then kind of just looks at the people.
And you can kind of like watch the last part of that sign is kind of hanging off a little bit. So he's got a couple of items, and you kind of watch as he's kind of right now he's in the middle of a conversation with a very interested looking humanoid, rough guy, looks like a farmer from what you can tell, bearded, kind of commoner's clothes, a little shaggy, and you watch as Vigo is presenting some kind of a dagger, And he watches his
It's
kind
a
of
dagger.
flipping it around,
It's just a dagger.
flips it back accordingly.
I've got 3 of those.
Do you step closer?
Sure.
All right. So you kind of push your way through here and get kind of right up into the table. So this point over here, Vigo is talking. He goes, "Oh yes, this dagger, this is very, very good quality. Let me tell you, Vigo never see anything before like this. Definitely not over there. Vigo's new here. He don't know how to buy things at the store. No, Vigo finds these things. So this, my friend, now let me tell you, you look like a man who knows how to use a knife. What's your name, sir?" And he goes, "Buck." It's like, "Oh, Buck, okay. So Buck, you throw a few bucks over to Vigo and he'll help you out. Look, this dagger, it's very special. In the very, very far away land where Vigo finds this, he say that Vigo killed a big," and he kind of watches, he kind of stops a little bit, and he goes, "Minotaur. Yeah, Vigo killed the big Minotaur. And this is little like toothpick to the Minotaur. So Vigo don't think he mind if he take it, especially since Vigo killed him and he dead. But what he's told about this particular dagger is that anyone who is caught by the dagger bleeds. And so Vigo called this dagger the dagger of bleeding.
Dang.
Now, if you cut and you say the magic word, they bleed profusely. Especially if you cut them, and he kind of shows them. If you cut them, this area right here, the wrist, and you see this little vein right here. Vigo, you can't see because it's purple, but trust me, Vigo knows it's there. And you cut it, and there'd be blood everywhere. Vigo probably die. So don't do that to Vigo. There's no defense. But for you, my friends, I say something like this may be worth 50 gold. Farmer kind of drops his jaw. It's like, I don't have that kind of money. Oh, we could probably give you discount because he sees that you are a man around town and you know how to get things done. So we could give it to you for maybe 10 gold. And you kind of see the guy goes, "Yeah, but I promised my wife we'd fix that wagon, for all of our crops." And
Can Pipe just like lean over to the man and whisper something to him?
all right, go ahead.
You're being scammed.
Oh, I couldn't hear. Somebody made noise.
You're being scammed.
The farmer kind of stops and he kind of looks at you, and then he kind of looks back at Vigo. And Vigo. No, Vigo doesn't hear this. Vigo's perception not that great. So Vigo's kind of waiting for a response, and then he kind of looks at you, and he sees that you whispered something to him, and then the farmer his demeanor basically kind of changes, and he slowly puts the dagger down and slides it back across the table over to Vigo, and he kind of goes, "Maybe next time." And he kind of nods at Vigo, and then he kind of nods over at you, but very kind of up and down, very slowly. And he kind of walks and pushes his way back out through the crowd. He watches Vigo kind of slumps into his chair behind the desk, and he's like, "Oh, well, he made a very, very bad business decision. I mean, probably Minotaur killed him tomorrow, and he wish he had dagger then. Let me tell you."
Oh, don't worry. I'll bring you some more business later.
I thought he killed the Minotaur.
He kind of looks at you a little bit and cocks his head. "You look very familiar. Vigo always remembers the faces of the people that sees Vigo, and Vigo sees the people. Have we met before?"
No, I have an evil twin.
"Oh, Vigo knows all about this. Ooh, you could use something to get rid of the evil twin. Am I right?"
No, I quite like her, actually.
Would you be interested in the dagger of the cursed blade?
Pike's just gonna turn and leave.
Already have one.
He kind of pulls out another dagger from his bag of holding. It's kind of like attached to his belt. And he pulls out a dagger.
Starting conversations and then leaving.
Yeah. She's walking away.
She's walking away. He's like, but wait! Vigil say if you curse while you kill someone with this dagger, they get cursed. And that's about all you hear before the people, while you're passing through, a few more people are coming around. You kind of hear Vigil say, no kid, that's not for you.
I'm heading to the town master's hall next if you want
Alright.
to jump to someone else for a bit.
Python saunters over towards the across the street towards the town master hall. All right, so we now turn to give you something to do. Meanwhile, back at Angelo's place.
Oh God.
This is appropriate background music too.
Yeah, it's perfect.
At this point, like, Angelo's like head is up against a wall, and he's like,
It's like the group is so stupid. They don't know anything. I have no leads.
he's like rereading all of these notes, and he's like, what
If we had
What?
anything to go off of, we would have
on earth?
it.
This is like a montage you kind of see as Angelo goes from the bed to the pacing back
Chair,
and
to
forth to
floor,
the
to
chair,
wall.
to laying on the floor, to banging his head on the wall.
Angelo, you have solved so many cases, but this one, no. Why? Because the other cases did not have this group. No.
That's fair.
Diddle-loot, diddle-loot, diddle-loot. As we leave Angelo to his
Temporary insanity.
Winnie the Pooh thinking. We meet up with Mahi and Tor and Tavith are strolling down towards the end of town, and this is of course, the last shop on the strip there. And you see to the right of you is the Barthen's Provisions.
As Mahi sees them coming up, Mahi just, like, y'all are coming too, and then holds open the door and just kind of gestures, he's letting you guys in first.
Thank you.
Appreciate
I
it.
stepped through. I'm
Appreciate
looking
it, Mahi.
for my.
Was Tor just nice to me, or was that just me?
It's called decency.
Oh, okay.
She was just being
Not
polite.
nice and decent. She doesn't have anything to yell at you about at the moment.
All right. So you kind of, as you open the door, you kind of hear the little bell on the top of it kind of ring. Ding, ding. Do I have a Barthen's Provision? Do, 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 do. I thought I had a little store on my. There we go.
Yay! Yes.
Store
I
layout.
love these maps.
Alrighty. So you walk in, and over by the counter, you see Elmar, Mr. Barthen himself, the purveyor of said store, and you kind of watch as his back is turned to you at the moment. He's stacking the shelves behind him, some jars of various oddities. You can kind of hear him. You see he doesn't look directly to you. He doesn't turn around, but you kind of see he cocks his head over and he says, "Welcome to Barthen's. I'll be with you right in a minute, Jiffy."
A what?
A minute, Jiffy.
I guess that's supposed to be like really quick or something. I don't know.
A midget
Like,
Jiffy.
you see, like, just saying a minute would have implied that, but then he added a jiffy, which makes me think that it's something different.
2 Jiffies in a minute.
What?
A jiffy is a measurement of time.
I don't know what a jiffy is. This is Southern talk.
2.3 Jiffies.
Oh my god.
Mahi just kind of has a look of real, like, genuine confusion, looks at Tor, kind of shrugs.
I don't know what kind of check I gotta do, but do I know what a jiffy is?
Jiffy squared.
Do I know what a jiffy is?
Go ahead and go. Wait, yeah, I think you do now.
I know a lot of things.
Yeah, now you do. Now you just automatically know. You don't have to roll.
What's a jiffy?
I don't know. You just know when one is.
Oh, fantastic.
Nice.
I don't share this information with Mahi. Because I know, but I don't know. It's beyond human speech to explain to him what a jiffy is.
It's like a measurement between measurements. It's
It
a
is-
jiffception.
1/60th of a second is a jiffy.
Woohoo!
So a minute and 1/60th of a second. That seems highly specific.
So are you telling anybody this, or are you just keeping this knowledge to yourself?
I start I'm thinking I don't know what a jiffy is, and then Tor's like kind of sitting, she's like, wait, jiffy. She's like, a minute. And so like she's like mumbling under her breath, like a 60th of a second. What?
Mahi and Tavi, you kind of watch as Tor's broken now.
Come on, Dutch.
She is talking to herself.
Weird, specific time. I just said a minute.
If you figure
Hey,
out what a
Tor,
jiffy is,
not
let
that
me know.
difficult.
It's 1/60th of a second, Mahi. So in 1 minute and a 60th of a second, he will be with us. If he's accurate.
He just kind of scratches his head.
He kind of watches. He yells
Music
out,
is still accurate.
Andrew, Thistle, will you help clean this stuff up? And he kind of watches two younger humanoids kind of walk in, wearing aprons, and they look very shaggy-headed, and they're very teenager-ish. So they kind of both look at each other and then look at you guys and kind of look down on the ground. Oh man, we were on break. Thistle says, "Shut up, Andrew."
Lazy teenagers.
Elmer kind of turns his attention towards the counter and then towards you guys. How can I help y'all?
I just
We have
point it. Sorry.
We have to replace a lot of things.
Oh no. What happened?
We got robbed, is the short story.
Oh my god.
And trust me, you want the short story, guys.
The
Why
Elmer
as I
kinda
look at Tor,
darts his eyes back and forth. Like, sure, we know all kinds of stores around here. So what seems to be your missing objects at the moment? Well, how can we help fill the void in your life with all of our provisions?
Well, I can list them all out loud, or you can provide me something to write them down with. Do you have a good memory?
He kind of looks at you. Goes, I remember numbers, prices.
Do you remember objects attached to those numbers and prices?
He kind of shrugs. It's like it just depends on what the price is.
Okay. So I need a bottle of ink, an ink pen, several pieces of paper, ball bearings, a bedroll, chalk, rations, probably like a couple weeks worth of rations. I need rope. I need a water skin. I need torches. I need a tinderbox. I'm trying to go through things that are like easy to do. Did I say ball bearings? I need ball bearings.
Yes.
Just buy
I
a
need
pack.
flour.
Is it possible to just buy packs, like the starting packs?
Yeah, I think I had a scholar pack is what I had, but I didn't know if that was like a thing that they know what it is or if it's just for ease of adding things in D&D.
Well, yeah, we'll say that as you keep listing items, but for you specifically, you would list them individually.
Yes.
As you keep listing items, you kind of watch as his eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger. You're not really sure, short of an insight check, whether or not that he's getting concerned with the growing list or whether it's making him happy.
He's like, you gonna give me so much money?
There's a little bit of a mixed feeling there, like this is big business, Yeah,
If you have any
it's a
dynamite.
lot of business.
Oh, the
And
dynamite.
he at that point, he kind of goes, well, I might be able to help with most of all them stuff you said, but the dynamite's not really something we kind of sell to the regular townsfolk here. But the miners,
We are not regular townsfolk.
oh, I could tell that for sure. This all sounds like them dungeoneering.
So you sell it
kind
to
of
us,
thing.
right?
You all going spelunking somewhere?
Probably.
Okay. But in any case, the dynamite you could check maybe down with the miners' exchange. They usually have most of their mining equipment will be there for the most part. I do have some basic things here I can help you out.
Okay, so how much will that be?
So, do you have like a list or something, perhaps? You did kind of rattle off a bunch.
She did tell you if you gave her
Sir,
paper.
With all due respect, sir, I did ask you in the beginning if you could remember a list or if you could give me something to write it down with.
That guy did answer. Apparently, proved me wrong. So,
Can I have something to write it down with?
he kind of smiles and he goes underneath the counter and pulls out like a notebook, has it open, takes an ink pen, hands it to you.
Okay. I take that and I'm gonna start writing this stuff down. For sake of time, somebody else wants to talk. I'll send it to you, DM,
Yes.
so you can see the items.
And
Just
he's
take
kind of
notes, I
just
think.
watching. He's got like both his hands kind of outstretched over, and he's kind of leaning over the counter. And every so often, you kind of stop writing and look up, and your eyes meet, and he kind of just keeps looking down at the paper.
Is Tavi gonna ask for anything?
Yes.
Okay.
At this point, Ander and Thistle behind him are like halfway stopped in the middle of like their arms are outstretched with jars, and they're trying to stack them on the shelf, and they're just basically frozen as they're kind of listening to this conversation, and they just look like they're gonna have a lot of work today.
So,
Tavi. Yeah.
hey guys, I need a couple things too. Not as much as what Tor is continuing to write down, but
See, I actually saved my list from when I had all my stuff.
well, I'm looking at what I started off with right now. So, I think it was the Explorer's Pack, Sean, Mr. DM.
Okay. So at this point, Elmer and Tor are kind of engaged here. So as you kind of approach him, and he kind of waves you off and points over to the back, and the two boys kind of turn, feeling like they've been summoned and sauntered. They both kind of saunter at the same time over the counter, and then Ander goes, "Welcome to Barthens. How can I help you?" And Thistle kind of elbows him. "Forgot to say provisions." "Welcome to Barthens Provisions. How can I help you?"
Well, I need a couple things. Are you ready for it?
Okay. I am just a level 1 clerk here, so I'm gonna let my associate Thistle handle your order taking needs. Let me know if I could be of any further assistance. And then he kind of turns and walks, and Thistle goes, what? Welcome to Barthens Provisions. How can I help you?"
Oh my god.
I'm looking at Mahi, I'm like, and I whisper, are they
Mahi.
dumber than me?
Tell me that's to ask.
Mahi actually kind of contemplates this. Like you can tell he's visibly thinking.
Like, I gotta do the calculations here.
Yeah. He doesn't say anything though. He doesn't want to offend Tavi.
Yeah, it's like more of a rhetorical question, I guess.
I do not understand what rhetorical is, and I do not believe we have those in stock.
Okay.
Oh,
One at a time here.
I will have to go and check in the back. Please wait here for one moment and
I
listen
didn't. Wait,
to Andrew
hold on,
give you
buddy.
our musical interlude.
Hold
And
on, buddy.
He kind of
Son.
turns, and he totally is like ignoring everything you guys are saying. Like it's all scripted. So he walks to the back, and then Ander was just about to pick up a box, and then he drops it. And then he walks over and goes, "Please hold."
I'm gonna stack the table to the counter.
Tor stops in the middle of her writing, looks over.
Mahi is just like face palming right now, like oh
Elmer
my
just kind of
word.
smiles at the rest of y'all, and kind of just waves.
Can
And
I
then
smack the
looks back over to the Tor's paper that she continues writing.
Can I smack the counter kind of semi-hard and ask for Barthen?
Okay. So you do so, and you watch as Ander, like, he's in the middle of his little duet here, or not duet, but his little song, and he like stops and he freaks out. His little clerk hat kind of falls off his head, and watches like his face just goes completely red, and he starts seeing sweat beads drip down, and he's like, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm gonna have to get over to my supervisor." And he basically doesn't even turn his head. He just darts his eyes over to the right, and Elmer just shakes his head. And he goes to Tor, "Excuse me a moment." And then he just slides over in front of Ander and go, "I'm sorry, sir. Was there a problem here?"
A slight problem. Can you please get me Mr. Barthen?
"Well, I'm Mr.
Oh my god.
How can I help you?" "Call me Elmer."
No.
Elmer Fudd.
Do you have anyone else that can take an order from us while you work with Tor?
"Well, sure. Let me go ahead and get one of my men to help you out. Hey, Thistle!"
Crap.
And you kind of watch as Thistle kind of
We did not find any rhetoricals in the pack.
Tor smacks her hand and goes,
don't take away the only joy that I have. So you see, he comes out with a broom, and he kind of looks at the broom, and he looks at you guys, and he kind of puts the broom down like he was waiting for someone to say that was it, but it wasn't. So he kind of puts it down, and then he walks over, and Ander kind of tags him, and Ander goes in the back, and then it goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I was not able to find any rhetoricals for you at the moment. Perhaps I can offer you in one of our various provisions."
She freaking wins.
We have lots of provisions. If you
Okay,
will follow
yes.
me over to the counter here, and he kind of points at an empty space on the counter, like there's like literally nothing there, but he's pointing as if there is something there. "You will see that this store provides many of Phandolin's goods for all the townsfolk, whether you are a miner or a farmer, or maybe you like to slay dragons."
Thistle,
Uh,
do you have a backpack?
And if you like to slay dragons, you may look down the dragon slaying aisle, which is down there. And there are many things that dragon slaying individuals such as yourself would find very
It's just a bunch of random crap.
Intriguing.
And then you kind of watch as
"Hey,
Elmer
go
kind
to bird."
of kicks him, and he, it's like what are those recorder things called, when it skips the record player?
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
A jukebox.
Oh my god, not a jukebox.
He just said it. It's a record player.
But you don't kick a record player. You kick the jukebox thing.
Well, when it gets stuck, he like kicks it.
Yeah.
And puts the needle back in place. He goes, "Oh, yeah. Can I interest you in any of these things that I have just gone over and mentioned?"
I will pay
Absolutely
for
not.
silence on this guy.
"Well, I'm sorry, sir, that we cannot be of assistance. If you don't mind, I will put you on hold, and you may speak with our customer satisfaction team."
No.
And he turns around and he walks to the back room.
Me working though.
I'm finished with the paper.
At this point, Tor finishes, puts the pen down.
It would have taken a lot less longer if I wasn't taking psychic damage throughout the conversation.
You kind of and you all watch as like Tor's like the annoyance level is high, and you kind of watch as Elmer kind of takes the list and he kind of pulls out a dirty handkerchief and wipes his balding forehead. All right, well, there's a lot of things here.
I lost everything.
I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry, truly I am. It happens quite often. You know, sometimes dragons, you know, it happens. Anyway, we're gonna go and take care of this for you right away. It will probably be a moment for us to round everything up. So if y'all want to browse around, of course, if you want to add to the list, let me know. Otherwise, give us a couple hours and we will have everything ready for you.
If those
Or
two
close for the
chuckleheads
day.
are in charge of it, it's going to take way longer than that.
Now,
And I'll make sure my finest men get on it. And
Oh,
then he
no.
kind of turns over and goes, Commander Thistle!
Oh.
And Elmer kind of walks into the back room.
Hold up, I'm still trying to find a rhetorical.
Can I
No,
look
it was
around the
a
store and see if by chance in the past month they've actually added any books?
Go ahead and roll perception.
Perception or investigation? Because I'm looking for an item.
Yeah, go ahead and do investigation. Either way.
25.
25.
Holy
Nice. So, Tavi the Mahi kind of watches Tor kind of, as soon as Elmer leaves, she darts over to the back room, or the back of the room, and starts moving all of the items. Like, she's totally rearranging everything on all the shelves, and looks like she's just looking for something. She spends probably a good maybe 5 minutes going through every shelf in the building. Yeah, there are no books in this place.
She makes that sound. Hate this place!
You kind of watch and she's kind of shuffling, you know, throwing kind of bottles and pushing pieces of rope over and.
Did I find anything else cool while I was looking though?
Nothing in particular.
Okay, it's fine.
Quick question for the DM. Did Tavis get his order in too?
No.
Or is it just...
Nobody took this.
they just jumped around it. Can I look around the store for what I'm looking to buy?
Sure.
I have to roll for this, or I just start picking stuff off the shelves.
Sure, go ahead and roll investigation.
Oh my god. Okay. I'm still freaking exhausted here, so I have to do it.
That's right.
Disadvantage. This sucks, man. Hold on, let me just see what it says. Okay, ready?
Can I help Tavis
There
Yeah,
you
go
go,
ahead.
yes. Alright,
so he can do
There
a
we
straight
go.
roll?
there we go.
You should just look for him at this point.
Yeah, you know, I should have
You
her.
could have just had me look for it. 'Cause I just searched the whole store. I probably
Yeah.
know where it is.
Yeah, at this point, basically, kind of Mahi, you watch is kind of Tavith is looking around and he's kind of got his pointer finger in his mouth and he's biting his nail and he's kind of looking side to side.
He's
He's
lost.
sure
This poor
what he's
man's
looking
lost.
for. He's kind of lost in a single room store, and so you kind of watch as he kind of looks over and as Tor finishes her investigation and kind of stamps her foot and throws a little pouty fit, she looks at Tavi. Tavi's like, "Help me!"
Can you help me, please?
Tor
What do
just
you
throws
need?
her arms in the air.
It's like, fine. What do you need?
I need a backpack. All the stuff we lost. Toward, the backpack.
Well, yeah, I don't know what was in your backpack. I didn't go through your bag.
Thing we sleep in.
Bedroll.
Okay, that.
Okay.
The torches.
Okay. I'm getting torches. You can just keep mine. Because I think they were yours anyways.
Okay. The food.
Okay.
Had
That's more food.
That.
Okay.
And the thing you drink out of.
Water skin.
Okay. The rope.
Yep.
And you said it earlier. You said Tinder app. Tinder.
Tinder app? What?
What? What?
Anything that starts fire, tinderbox.
Tinderbox.
Swipe left.
Swipe right.
Swipe right.
And I think that's about it. Oh, do you see shoes, like boots or anything in here? That's
DM, did I see boots?
Actually, you guys do see some not regular clothing, but you do see cold weather gear actually for like hiking out in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Hint, hint.
Am I
Okay.
hearing outfit upgrade?
I say
Or it's actually its own outfit in of itself. But yes,
you must.
because you kind of don't want to wear it during.
Oh,
Regular.
yeah.
I'm gonna suggest to Tor that she maybe gets some of that cold weather stuff.
I look down at basically my tank top and useless cloak. Yeah, probably a good idea.
Now, unfortunately, technically for both of you, Mahi and Tavith, nothing in this store looks like would fit you. So any of the cold weather gear would mostly fit Python, Tor, and Angelo if he was.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm 7'1" and weigh a little over 300 pounds. I'm a big boy.
Jeez,
I
you
was
lay
looking-
off some chickens.
Chicken.
It's muscle.
And Tavith, you lived, you were born in the mountains.
I don't need it.
You've been naked for 30, 40 years. You don't give a
You've
crap.
been
about
naked from the day you were born.
it. You don't need no scarf.
Nope.
Right?
I was just looking for feet.
But I mean, if you
Nope.
want the scarf,
Could be very fashionable.
it's going to get tangled up though in the spiked collar that's currently on your.
That is his scarf. That spike collar is
He
his
should
scarf.
still wear it anyways.
I mean, you're kind of like, you would be better in a bondage type of store, not this store. All right, that's just
Yeah.
the outlook you got going on right now.
And no boots, nothing like that. Shoes.
Oh, by the
won't
way,
fit.
did we determine if you're actually wearing your eye patch?
He's
I'm not wearing it. I have it
But you
on.
have
I
You have it.
still have it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
the
there
one
somewhere.
thing he saved.
It's currently in your money pouch
Yeah.
because that's like the only pocket you have.
Right.
All
That's why I need this backpack. So do
Very
I get
well.
all those things? Can I pay for all those things?
Okay, so
Do I know where all those things are? Like, were they actually out in the store too, as well as the back
Yeah.
room?
yeah. Basically, everything that was on your list and everything that Tavith has asked for, you were able to find. Versions
Ultimate
of.
flex move. I'd gather all my own stuff and Tavit's stuff before they even do
You just
it.
go put it on the
You
counter.
You guys are doing like a shopping cart game show kind of thing, where you just
Supermarket sweep.
supermarket suite, and you're just sliding down the aisles and scooping up everything into the cart.
I now know Barthen's provisions better than Barthen's does.
All right, so we'll say for the sake of not having to continue this,
I
Oh
still
my
haven't
goodness.
Cam
got
actually might need a little bit
anything.
of a break so he can actually put all this together for you. So
I still haven't got to buy anything. They've been buying stuff. I still haven't got an opportunity.
We haven't actually bought anything, and you knew that Tavith was asking Tor, and Tor was helping. And if you continued to stand there in silence, that's now a you problem.
all right, so while
Yeah,
Mahi, you're kind of still at the counter and you're kind of watching this with your back kind of turned, and then in a few minutes you kind of watch as Ander kind of walks behind. He's got a broom as well, and he's going around. And he starts to step out in front of the counter and notices you there, and he starts sweeping, and then kind of looks at your tail, and then kind of looks back at the broom and looks back at your tail.
Mahi notices this, and his tail just kind of curls out of sight. Like I'm
No, no.
feeling self-conscious about my
No,
tail.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
kind of lift it up out of the way. And so
Yeah,
he
I just
kinda-
kind of.
he continues to sweep past you, sweep underneath the section where the tail was laying, and then he kind of nods and smiles at you.
Mahi doesn't smile, but just kind of like, yeah, sure, no problem.
and then he turns around and starts sweeping in the opposite direction, and then he kind of stops, and then he kind of turns real quickly like he forgot something. And he kind of saunters back over to you. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I forgot. Well, welcome to
Son,
Barfin.
son, don't. It's okay. Just, I'll tell you what I want, and then you just give it to me. How about that?
Okay.
And then Mahi just kind of leans in. I want paper and something to draw on the paper.
And he kind of watches it as the kind of back part of your lips curl, and you can and he watches as he sees kind of this little acid go between the your teeth, and a little droplet hits the ground, and
You're so unnecessary.
and you're kind of watching this kid like literally wet himself.
Where's the baby? There it is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Please don't eat me!
That movie is like so far buried in my subconscious. How dare you bring that out?
Mahi just goes, oh my word, and just starts speaking Draconic, and then looks kind of at the torn Tavith and is like, what do I do? Like, I just want to buy a freaking piece of paper. Like, he's just like gesturing to him.
Mahi, you say everything like you're growling. Try saying it a little higher and with a little less snarl, and like you look like you want to eat somebody.
I would like paper.
Oh, I'm
growl
coming worse.
And he kind of nods slowly, and he kind of backs up and kind of walks backwards into the counter area. And then you kind of watch as he stoops down, and you see him shuffle and push a few things aside. And then he pulls out a roll of paper. Yeah, like toilet paper. And he kind of hands it over and slides it across.
My word.
And you kind of watch as he just gets this big smile on his face, like he's just accomplished something great.
You know what, Tavith? Not Tavith. Mahi, when I get my paper, I will just give you a piece of my paper.
Thank you so much. And he's like actually being genuine about this. Like, you can tell he's been like,
He's stressed.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now he's looking a little depressed, and he goes, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry if the paper was not up to your
Listen, kid.
Son,
We tried to provide good quality paper
Kid,
for all
I
of
should
it's
have
not your
specified.
fault.
I should have specified what kind of paper that
It's
was
not
on
your
me.
fault that this town has failed to educate their children. It's not your fault.
And he kind of just is like, his mouth is open. He's like, I'm sorry, ma'am. If you would like to speak with my supervisor, I could go get him.
Nope,
would be
let him
excellent.
keep doing what he's let him keep
Okay.
doing what he's doing.
Okay.
He's trying to get the rest of the stuff. He's a very busy man. It's good. You're fine. You go to sleep
I'm
back
gonna-
to sleeping.
Okay.
Mahi wants
Well,
to
if you need any more further assistance, I will not be very far away. You can always reach us here at Barthen's Provisions.
I just want to
the
freaking
best
explorer's
is-
pack.
Good enough.
Pretty much what I got.
We're the best is all that we got here.
Can I just look around and see if I have if there's enough there's around the store that I can make up an explorer's pack?
Yes. Go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Or you could ask
Okay.
Tor,
Or ask Tor for help.
because she
Tor,
searched the
could
whole
you-
store.
Tor has memorized
Or
the aisles.
could you help me look for some stuff?
Yeah.
No.
Tor's like one of those
Thank you.
coupon people.
And I just kind of relate
They're in shop
like a summary of what I want. Basically, I want an explorer's pack.
She stares at you for a long moment because, in essence, you've just repeated, what Tavith has already told her and that she's already found once. As you can
Mahi
tell,
was
she's
paying
trying
attention.
really hard not to say something about it. She's trying to be on good behavior right now because she knows she has not been on good behavior today.
I can tell something's bothering you.
No, it's fine. Let's go get your things. Let's go get your things. And I start walking and start finding the stuff.
Okay. Mahi's genuinely confused, like, okay.
Didn't think
Simple
I'd ever
question.
miss Pipe. Didn't think I'd ever miss Pipe.
What?
Didn't think I would ever miss Pipe.
Ooh, I hit a whole other note. We're
It's still like a note above that.
I don't know if I can go any higher than that.
I didn't know I could go that high.
I promise, chat, we're not on drugs.
Don't make any promises.
Cue the hamster song.
I'm not
I'm
convinced.
not promising nothing. So, I assume I find these items
Or Tor does.
and I buy them?
But
Question
you can't buy
marks?
them yet because he's in the back getting all the other items. You can basically just gather them.
Just leave
Everything
a pile
is
on the
getting
gold.
gathered at this point.
Pile of gold on the table and leave. Run.
Okay, then I gather them. How long did he say he was going to be in the back getting all of her stuff?
He said it'd actually be a couple hours,
Excuse me.
and you kind of wow.
Wait,
You're
for
kind
what,
of
paper?
I didn't have that many items.
Tor
I
did
know.
this in 5 minutes for the other 2 people.
exactly.
I have a much higher intelligence score than they do.
And you're kind of watching as Anders he's sweeping up by the front door now, so he's kind of blocking the door at this point. The funny thing is he's kind of sweeping, but it's not really getting rid of it. It's just moving the dirt to a different spot.
The music continues to fit the scenario.
I know. This music is perfectly whimsical.
You're
This-
welcome that I'm a god.
Faith is our music god. You picked the wrong cleric.
Oh.
Bang.
Tor, can I just ask him just to come out real quick so I can buy this stuff and get the heck out of Dodge?
Passively, there is a bell on the counter.
I'm asking Tor because I know she said, I don't want you to slow him down. Tor? Question marks.
I don't know why my thing was muted. I ding the bell. But at the same time, I look at Mahi, since I guess you didn't hear this part. You don't think I don't want to get out of here too?
As you ding the bell, you kind of watch as Ander kind of stops his
Right, Commander!
you watch as he kind of
You're
stops his sweeping, and his back is turned to the rest of you because he's kind of he's facing the front door, and he kind of stops like. You can almost hear him. What was I supposed to do? Oh, and he drops the broom and runs over to the counter, and it kind of
Son.
refixes the apron and fixes his hat. Welcome to Martha's Provision.
Son!
Well,
We need your boss.
I'm sorry, sir, that we could not be of assistance to you. Let me go and get my manager.
Thank you!
And he kind of looks around, and he kind of watches. He steps into the back room, and then he kind of he watches. He kind of turns around, and he starts sweating real bad. I'm sorry, sir. My manager does not seem to be available at the moment. Let me get you transferred over to my supervisor. And then he kind of watches. This one comes out.
Mahi looks at Tor and does the finger gun to the head, and then like with his other hand acts like he just blew his brains out. Like,
What's that?
This one counter.
Never got invented yet.
Hello, my name is Thistle, and I am your supervisor for today. How can I be of assistance?
I need the owner of this frickin' establishment.
Hey, listen, can we
We're-
pay in advance? Can we pay in advance for our stuff and come pick it up later?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Are they gonna forget?
And they kind of both look at each other.
Go ask your manager. and come back and tell us if we can pay in advance. That way we can move on with our lives.
I apologize. If you will just hold this for a few brief moments, I will go and fetch our manager, and we will have an answer to you right away. Because here at Martha's Provisions, we know what we're doing. And he turns around and walks. And he walks to the back. This one walks to the back, and then Andrew kind of looks, and then looks back at you, and he kind of runs in the back.
My God.
I'm fixing to do this myself.
I need to talk to Sildar immediately.
Oh,
this
at this
town
point,
cannot-
you hear a back door open.
Thank the maker of everything, just in general. I don't even care who I'm thinking. I'll think Asmodeus at this point. Please!
Don't thank him.
I want out of here.
He's like Satan. You're a paladin.
I was being slightly sarcastic, but you get the feeling of I want out of here.
We all do.
And nothing happens.
He ran out the back. Oh my God.
So we weren't able to pay
He
for it.
actually walks in the back of the store and like peeks open the door in the back and sees if he can find Martha.
Go ahead and roll per perception.
Barthens.
Perception 12.
12. So you kind of peek your head into the back room. Nobody's back there.
Hey Barthen,
You do see the back door open though, to the outside.
Barthen, are you back here?
No response.
Son of a. Would Mahi know the average cost of all these items?
Just roll a straight intelligence check for me.
Ah, fantastic.
I don't.
Tor might.
You don't.
Tor, how much would this cost? Because I'm fixing to just put it in his register. I don't know if they have registers, but you know.
I only rolled a 12 with a straight intelligence check.
You could probably
Wow,
just
really?
take it and they would probably not notice.
I don't have my stuff though.
You could
Mahi's
fuck it
not a
in the back.
Wait,
Mahi's not a thief.
but we found the stuff I was looking for, right?
Yes.
Basically, basically all of you have
pay for it.
spread all of the items across the counter. And
You
you kind
just
of
need
watch
to
as
pay for these
the
things.
rest of the store is pretty bare. You basically rearranged everything and put it on the counter.
Okay, well, I'm gonna.
Alright.
So wait, I pulled all of my own items.
Within
too?
reason.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave.
I pulled their items and my items.
Yes. That's
Okay.
what you were doing, yeah?
Yep. I just want to make sure that's actually what I did. Put all of my stuff in the backpack that I was going to purchase, loading it up.
Yeah.
With a 12 intelligence check, how much do I think all of this costs?
I mean,
Dean will have to get back to you because Dean's
roll,
not
and
even
it's
sure
just a
how much
store.
all this costs yet.
I actually.
Well, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Explorer's pack is 10 gold.
Okay. Alright, hold on 1 second here. Let me go ahead and do all this. Bump.
About
Do we all want to go on a little short break?
Yeah, sure. So you can do all this.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do the math and then we'll come back
I'm
and
going-
finish it.
I'm
Okay,
gonna go
sounds
get
good.
me some Fireball whiskey. I mean Mountain Dew.
And I
I'm
want
just
to.
Gonna go kill myself.
okay, I'm gonna
Oh, put the bar.
Have fun.
pause recording rather than
Pause recording.
stop it. Okay, we'll be back. Boop.
You killed his father. Prepare to
Prepare to die.
die.
son.
Prepare to die. Can we start?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Hey, everybody. Hey, Dr.
No, no.
Matt.
Shoot him.
Oh no.
Shut up. Shoot him. Kill him. Shoot that man.
Hey, children. Hey, chef. Okay. So, as you all wait a few moments here, and eventually you hear another creaking of the door from the back room, and he kind of watches Elmer. He's kind of a big, chubby guy. He kind of waddles into the room, wipes his forehead, kind of sees all of these items, and he's kind of watching half of the items are being tucked away into Tor's backpack, and he kind of watches the rest of Tavith Zamahi's items that are scattered about, and he kind of looks over at everything and goes, "Oh, them boys did a good job. All right, so
Okay. It's okay.
Tor's like talking to herself, and he's not like
She's about to lose it.
he's not really paying attention. So he takes out his little notebook and he kind of checks everything off. And he kind of looks over at your backpack and starts checking it off. All right. So since you all are big Barthen's patrons today, Barthen going to be doing you a little bit of a deal here. So, Missy, for all of your stuff, I'm going to say that's going to be worth. I'm going to give you a 10% discount for a group discount. So we'll say 35 gold for the whole lot of it.
Can I insight to make sure that's a good deal?
Go ahead.
I don't know what my insight is. Oh, I have good insight. Why don't I insight people more? I have a +4. 18.
18. Yeah, it's on the level. In fact, actually, he said a 10% discount.
Yeah.
And it's more than that, but you're not going to question him on his math since it's in your favor.
And this is for all of our items or just her items?
Well, right now he's talking about her stuff.
This is my stuff.
Okay.
So if you will, go ahead and remove 35 gold.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You watch as Tor kind of scoops up the rest of the items and dumps it all in the backpack, and then she straps it on. Signals to the rest of you. So ink, paper, I gave you 10 sheets of paper.
Okay.
Backpack, the ball bearings, bed, roll, chalk, 14 rations. So that'll be your 2 weeks. Rope, water skin. You have about 5 torches. I mean, they're like a copper piece, so it's not.
Yeah.
I rounded those. $10. Now the string, you're gonna have to manually add that because I don't.
Yeah, I had to manually add it the first time too.
Flour, and then the knife. All right, so that is all of your stuff, and then he turns over to Davith. And what was it that you ended up getting a pack, Davith?
Yeah, the Explorer's pack, basically.
Explorer's pack. Okay. All right, so he goes over to you. Goes, all right, sir, that's for you. That'd be 9 gold.
Alrighty. 9 gold it is.
And he goes ahead and pockets it. You can, I think you can add the Explorer pack. Can you add the Explorer pack to the inventory and it divvies out the entire thing? Yeah.
You have to go through the edit character, but I think you can, yeah. Just add Explorer's Pack.
Excellent. All right, and then he turns over to you. And you, my paladin friend, what was it that you were looking for? Is this all your stuff right here? And he kind of points to the big pile in front.
Yes. And DM, just to make this easier, it's basically Explorer's Pack, but with 4 extra rations because it's 10 days of rations, but he is also getting 2 weeks worth of rations.
All right, so you're also getting 2 weeks worth of rations? All right.
Yeah, so Explorer's Pack, but with 2 weeks worth of rations.
Rations. Beauty for rations. All right, so 4 more rations. So that's going to be 2 more gold. So for you, sir, it's going to be about 11 gold.
Done. Hands in the 11 gold.
All right.
And now I gotta add that to my equipment. Okay, nope, gotta go through edit character. But yeah, I gave him the gold. I took it out of my inventory. So you know.
All right. He kind of leans over, and as you all kind of scoop up all of your items accordingly into your now new backpacks and containers, and you are, at least starting equipment-wise, set up for you 3. Goes, looks over, and anything else we can do for you here?
No.
Do you have a tent?
You want a tent, sir?
Yes.
Oh, well, we got a special on tents right now. What kind of tent are you looking for? You need something probably a man of your size. I'd say you probably want the 2-person tent. Am I right?
Yes.
Alrighty. That'll be 2 gold, sir.
Okay.
And he kind of points to the corner. You kind of see a rolled up tent amongst several other ones.
Yeah.
Different
I
colors.
had my tent taken away from me before it was stolen.
Yeah, he didn't even have it before it was stolen.
All right.
And, DM, quick thing.
Go ahead. Drop 2 gold and give yourself a tent. Yes.
I am adding back an item that I had previously had in my inventory because I was wearing it. Back in the very first, when we were in, like, under the red brand thing, Tavi found those gold earrings
Okay.
with the ruby in them, and I actually put those on. They were in my inventory, but I was wearing them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that for that purpose, you were able to keep those.
Okay. I'm not gonna worry about the price
Because you're still
it's not
currently
something
wearing
she's
them.
selling.
I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wears her earrings all the time.
All right. Very well.
As this is all going on, Mahi whispers, "Can I still have that paper?"
Yes.
Awesome.
Is this something else that was something else that you took from Tavi, wasn't it?
She
No, I didn't take it from him.
I think I gave it to her.
Did you give it to her?
Yeah,
Okay.
because we were the only two who took the money on the
Yeah.
table, and there were
trying to
earrings on the
remember
table too.
Right.
And he said I could keep them so long as I actually wore them and didn't sell them. But if I sold them, we had to split the money.
That's right. I remember those. Okay. That's cool. I was just wondering.
How do you
I'm just
remember that?
noticing all these
Right.
things that Tor's like a klepto, and she's like taking it.
Thing is, I don't steal anything
Tavi is like giving away all his stuff.
because Tavis is the one who found the Nothic Eye too, and he gave that to me.
That is true too.
You're welcome, Thor.
All right. And anything else the Barthen could do for you all? Anyone else need some tents? Some
No
soap?
plastic. We're good. Ha 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 ha. No.
No soap for you, sir?
Towards me.
Something. Yeah, he kind of looks at you and is like, something underneath them
Troy, you're
scales.
muted.
How much would a bar of soap cost?
Well, how about a couple copper pieces? Get you nice
All
bar
right.
of soap.
All right. And so 2 copper pieces.
Yep, 2 copper pieces.
Okay.
So he kind of leans into the counter and grabs kind of a bar of soap and chucks it over to your direction.
Grabs it, stuffs it in his bag, and Mahi's pretty much walking out of here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tor's already heading for the door.
Thank you for your
She's gone.
patronage, folks. Sir,
Yep.
anything else I can help you out with?
Maybe later.
Alrighty. Well, good luck to y'all.
I hand Mahi a piece of paper as we walk out.
Thank you so much.
Oh, God.
And then as you kind of
Why are
leave,
you
the last thing
hiding
you
this?
hear, the last thing that you kind of hear in the background is Andrew Thistle, and the ringing of the bell.
Bunch of morons.
You know it's bad if Tavi is calling you stupid.
Honestly, though.
Yes.
For real.
In the meantime, Price gone to harass Sildar, so.
Good, because that's
All
where I'm
right.
heading next too.
Well, y'all took
Mhm.
forever in that shop, so.
No, yeah, that's fine, but that's where I'm heading next, because I've got to talk to Sildar about the lack
You
of
say
education
that
in
like
this
it's our
town.
fault. You say that like it's our fault. Like,
We would have been in and out in 2 minutes if we would have had our way.
All right. So before we get to Python,
Oh, we're back in.
Back
Back
to
up.
Angelo.
Figured
Back to
anything out yet,
Angelo.
boy?
You know what? He puts the paper in his jacket and he walks out of his room.
walk into the hallway. All the rest of the other guest rooms are closed off. Still quiet in the tavern area.
He walks up
Uber
to the
walks
counter.
out.
And at this point, you see Tobin. He's kind of got a glass in his hand, and he's cleaning it out with a rag.
Is it possible that you know where my group has gone. The big Goliath, the little blue Genasi, the elf, and the dragonborn.
Well, I saw them earlier, but I believe they left a few moments ago. It's probably been maybe about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour. Who knows?
5 hours. It felt like an eternity. A couple months. I don't know.
The rest of us are stuck cooped up in here all day long. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of some things. You know how the day goes. So sorry, I'm sure they'll probably be back, though. I mean, they've got some rooms paid up for at least another night.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Not too big. I can find them.
Let me know if me and Elsa can help you out.
Thank you again.
He kind of nods and goes back to wiping his mug.
Because that's all that bartenders do.
That's
right?
all the bartenders do.
Unless they're cleaning the counter. That's the other thing they
That's
do.
the other thing they do.
Yeah, they clean the counter and they clean the mugs. That's all.
Everything is
And
clean in the bar,
occasionally give
always.
advice.
You all kind of assume when you leave that everything else just pauses, and then when you return, they like pick up exactly where you left off. This is the paradox of this universe.
Yeah, Angelo's going to walk out of the tavern, but I'm gonna let it go to Pipe because I know that she needs to kill Sildar.
Or ask Silda where her brother is so she can kill her brother.
Yeah, one of the two.
All right, so everybody is heading towards Sildar.
I'm following Tor.
Yes, but Pyth is gonna get there
Yes,
much
but Pipe
sooner.
is there way
Pipe-
sooner.
Pipe
Like
was
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes.
Yep. All right. So, as we leave Angelo and we doodaloo go back to Pythavan. Pythavan, you walked across the street over to the Townmaster's Hall, and again, Sildar is also unpaused and doing what he normally
He's doing
does.
paperwork. That's all he does.
He's doing his paperwork.
Idle animation paperwork.
Idle animation.
Sildar, I have an inquiry for you.
He kind of looks up, and ushers you to come in.
She kind of like steps into the room but doesn't come all the way to the desk. Do you know where?
So he kind of stands up though to kind of meet you, and
Oh.
you can watch as he kind of closes a ledger. He kind of slams it down. You can almost see like a little tiny cloud of poofy smoke kind of rise up from the desk. He throws his pen, coughs, and then he walks over to the center area where the lounge couches are in front of the hearth, and he kind of sits down and pulls out a pipe, lights it up.
Changed his animation and I don't trust it.
starts smoking it. Goes, I could use a breather. Tell me what's on your mind.
Pyth's gonna head over to that area, but she's not gonna sit down. She's just gonna kind of cross her arms.
Okay.
Do you know where I could find Corlin?
Well, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. I don't particularly know his current whereabouts at the moment. Is there a message you'd like me to relay over to him?
Is that something that you can do quickly?
I'd probably have some of my men come out and look out for him. Is it an emergency?
No, I just need to speak to my brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's
I've-
portal.
I noticed that the other night. I assumed that you all had more of a familiar bonding than just a pleasant acquaintance, from what I can understand. So, sister, brother, how long has it been since you saw each other last? Seems like quite a while, from what I can gather.
NPCB trying to unlock backstory.
Yeah, it's not gonna.
Uh,
I don't particularly see why that concerns you.
Not in the slightest. Just trying to spare out some time before I have to go over to my desk again and continue on my work.
I'd suggest talking about literally anything else.
I understand. Touchy subject. No further words needed. So, What about the rest of your group? How are you all faring?
We could be better.
I couldn't hear you.
We could be better.
All right. Anything I can assist you with?
How much do you know about this Angelo fellow?
Not too much. When the Alliance brought Corlin down from Candlekeep, Angelo came with them. From my understanding, Angelo is some type of detective. I've not heard of him myself, but of course I come from Waterdeep, a little bit further south. But supposedly he solved some big crime in Athkatla. It's in the Alm area, just right around Candlekeep, actually. Probably explains how they know each other. Some business with the Shadow Thieves, from what I understand. He was able to take down a couple of the crime lords down there.
Do I know... Am I particularly familiar with the area that he mentioned?
Yes. So, of course, he mentioned Candlekeep, and you absolutely know that. Athkatla is below that, and Baldur's Gate would be above you. Those would be the two largest cities that would be both on the coast, just north and south of your area. So the general area of is the region.
Question for people taking notes: how do you spell that?
Yeah.
A-M-N.
The previous.
Athkatla.
Oh, Athkatla, yes. A-T-H-L...
A-T-H-K.
Athkatla. The city of coin. The goddess Joaquin was pretty dominant in that area.
I know.
It's also pretty close to...
Yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, I got harassed for that in my campaign, too.
Joaquin?
But do I know...
It's
I'm gonna just private message you.
pretty wealthiest country in most of Faerun, actually.
Mahi probably dislikes it then.
Merchant capital of the world. The Candlekeep has a lot of connections,
Rich brats.
being by there, pretty much a lot of the alumni come out of that area, and for the most part, that city is keeps Candlekeep in, well, it's non-profit, but they keep them more functional.
Everybody knows private organization.
I sent you some
profit.
private messages. I see. Okay. Angela, I'm coming for your brand.
You can try.
Pyth slowly is gonna come and sit on the other couch and just cross her legs slowly.
Waits for brother.
What were we saying?
So, did you want to roll anything on any more information outside of that?
Can I do a quick insight check on Sildar to see if
Sure.
Is he suspicious of
honestly-
me? I'm almost sure. So
At this point, he's kind of just relaxing, from what you can just tell passively. But
he
if you
seems
wanna-
pretty. Yeah, that was going to be a passive roll anyway because that was a 6. So
Okay, yeah. So he seems like, I mean, he almost seems
my
grateful for
passives went up.
the time away from his desk at the moment. Like, he doesn't really talk to a lot of people lately,
Do you
or-
have any drinks?
casually. He goes underneath
Perhaps.
one of the coffee table, and he pulls out a bottle, pops out the cork, and then on the other side of the table, he pulls out a couple of wine glasses, glug, 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 glug. And then he passes one to you.
Hell yeah. Can't return.
And you can kind of see, well, like when you asked for that, like he went from being kind of very casually passive to like, he got his big eyes and big smile on his face right now. So
He's like,
like
hell yeah.
he was waiting for this. And he kind of raises his glass over to you.
She raises hers back.
And you don't clink, you're kind of still separated there, but you kind of do the motion for it, and then he chugs it.
I chugged hers too.
He kind of watches as he finishes, and you kind of both finish at the same time. You kind of both look at each other and kind of have a kind of a bonding type of smile at the same time.
We're both stressed out.
Screw
We're
this.
drinking. That's right.
So then all of a sudden he gets real serious, you know,
Oh.
the wine, mood swings, and then he kind of leans over, goes, "I know it's a touchy subject, but sorry about your archer friend. From what it sounded like, the way you guys were explaining, I assume that's what that altercation with the drow."
Indeed.
I thought so.
Not.
That's a shame. He was a good man, from what I could tell.
Pyth holds her glass out for a refill.
He nods, acknowledges, tips the bottle over in your direction. Glug, 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 glug. Fills you up to the top.
She doesn't chug this one, but she
Starts
does
sipping.
just.
He puts his glass down, though, and he puts the bottle in the center of the table. The coffee table. Do they have coffee in Favor? I'm sure they do.
Yes.
All right. And he kind of leans back, takes a whiff of his pipe, and blows out. Look, almost like he's trying to form something out of the smoke, but it's just a puff of smoke. He kind of looks a little disappointed.
How long have you known Coraline?
Not very long. The Alliance brought him in. Maybe about the time that you all disappeared.
And how long ago was that? Sorry, my time frame is a little fuzzy.
Trying to think here. Last time I remember seeing you all, and you all went off to, I think, fill out one of those orc bounties that was posted up by the previous town master. That probably was maybe a good 3-4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. It's hard to tell sometimes.
I understand that, certainly.
As you can tell, I don't get out much.
That's unfortunate.
But yeah, some of the higher ends. In fact, actually, if I'm not mistaken, Coraline knew Glassstaff. Glassstaff comes from Candlekeep. If you weren't aware of that.
I lean
Sucks.
forward.
Excuse me?
Sucks.
You. Coraline knew Glassstaff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Apparently.
let me get this straight. Coraline, a mage, suddenly becomes interested in the Forge of Spells after we disappear searching for it. After having associated with Glassstaff, the mage who turned coat against the Alliance. And now he's come with this new character, seemingly out of nowhere. And you trust him?
Well, ma'am, in my line of work, sometimes we don't get to question things that smell off, if you know what I mean. Sometimes we're just called on to follow orders. Right now, my business, taking care of this town.
Maybe you would need less rescuing if you questioned your orders more often. And she says this kind of jokingly and kind of like smirks, but also like she's like, Jesus, dude.
I hear that. I would not have found myself if I went back and talked to younger Sildar. Yeah, would not be behind a desk. I can assure you that. This was supposed to be Glassstaff's position. Let's see where we are right now. It's a shame about that. Unfortunately, I know Glassstaff too.
Did
No one would
Glassstaff?
have guessed that he was in cahoots with his Black Spider.
Would I have recognized Glassstaff?
What?
Would I have recognized Glassstaff?
You mean from your time at Candlekeep?
Yeah, it was only like 3 years ago, 4 years ago that I left.
Well, you're not in the room yet, so...
No, I know, this is a me asking
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You'd have to probably roll a history check, I suppose.
Not even gonna do it. I don't even want to know.
I mean, to be fair, there are a lot of mages in Candle.
Yeah, I know.
And they come and go.
It's still.
Yeah.
Would you happen to know anything about what Corlin was doing before he came to the Alliance?
Well, supposedly he's some hotshot professor over at Candlekeep.
Emphasis on hot.
Now, I've never been down that far south, and of course, all of my training wasn't too much in books. I used to be a formal cavalry griffin rider back in Waterdeep, if you can believe it.
I can believe it.
So I don't, unfortunately, know too much about Candlekeep area. I do know it's got a lot of books, but that's the extent of my knowledge. The Alliance tends to think so, however. Most of the eggheads down there, most time know what they're talking about. So, any help that we can get to try to unravel this situation is well warranted, and that's why I don't question it. He seems pretty connected, from what I understand.
I can't think of it.
But we vetted him.
Vetted him.
The only connection that we had as far as the Glassstaff is concerned, but outside of that, which does ring a little suspicious to me, but as far as that's concerned, I mean, he has trained lots of mages in his time there. I understand he's been there for quite some time, worked himself up the ranks.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
But he seems to be real interested in this forge. He knew pretty much everything before we even had the chance to debrief him on the current situation. He was very interested to know about the Rock Seekers and their current whereabouts, but more particularly, where his interests don't seem to be too keen on finding Gundren. He's more concerned about trying to find an alternate means to get to the forge. My understanding is that he knows about the whereabouts. We've been able to uncover the location where we expect that all of the Rockseeker brothers found the map in the first place. Unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to get our men there, and understand that that area is a little crowded right now, of the monster variety. And we can't spread our forces any more thin than we have. We're doing all we can just to make sure the town is safe. Unfortunately, our help from Helmshold and Neverwinter and even Waterdeep have all dried up. Every one of the towns got their own issues, and none of them necessarily seems to... Well, let's just say their priorities are elsewhere at this point. So we're on our own.
Did he say where this map was found? Or was it said like in one of the last things and I just didn't write it down?
Well, what I understand is that the Rockseeker brothers, they owned a plot of land down south, and during one of their excavation processes, they uncovered some kind of a temple, a dwarven god. I'm not really sure. I'm not too up on dwarven theology, but apparently that's where the map was found. At least that's the way Gundren kind of alluded to me when I spoke with him.
Do you know where this was? Other than
We are trying to confirm the whereabouts. When I spoke with Gundren, I only knew of briefly. He wouldn't necessarily give me a whole lot of details. To be fair, so it was all right because I was kind of also on a mission of my own, if you recall.
Indeed. To find the mage that betrayed
Indeed.
the alliance.
So I can't blame him for being a little suspicious. At this point, everybody's a little suspicious. And don't mind me being blunt, ma'am. So is your group.
Cue them busting through the doors.
Now I know what you're gonna say. Thank you again for saving my life. But it's not coming from me. Some of my superiors are a little concerned with your disappearance and your, shall we call it, luckiness of surviving this orcish army. Maybe a little too coincidental for their liking. Now I've seen what you guys can do, and I don't doubt for a moment your ability to escape such a predicament. Especially considering that you did not come out unscathed. But such as things are what they are. The sooner that we find Gundren and this forge, hopefully we can maybe recover this map before our suspicions become worse than what we believe them to be.
You'd be surprised what you can escape when you simply run away. Speaking of maps, though, do you happen to have a map of the Sword Coast, just that I could perhaps borrow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A large area, but I'm pretty sure, unless you all are traveling on going vacation anytime soon, pretty much I can get you some current findings on your locality here. And so he kind of he steps up and he turns around, goes back to his desk, pulls out a drawer, fumbles through a couple of papers, and pulls out this three-folded section map, folds it together, rolls it up at the end, walks back over to you and hands it to you.
Thank you very much.
This should do you?
Do you mind if I keep this?
Sure. I've got probably plenty of them.
Map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
And unfortunately, doesn't look like I've got any VTO time off either.
I hate to ask you for any more, but do you have a case for this, perchance? You know we tend to get into some messy situations.
He kind of looks around. Then he kind of knocks on the wall. A guard kind of walks in. Goes, fetch this lady a map case. See if you could go down to the basement. See if they might have left anything down there that will suit this lady's purpose. The guard nods, turns, walks out of the room. Sildar kind of looks at you and shrugs. So we'll see if we can find something for you.
Thank you again.
And then he kind of looks around the room and he sighs heavily, puts his pipe down on the desk, smolders a little bit. And you see a couple of the embers kind of fall out on the side. And he turns back over to his towards the direction of his desk and goes, "Well, yes, duty calls. Let me know if there's anything more I can do for you." And then he walks back over to his desk and sits down.
Do try to get that message to Corlin if you can. Tell him to meet me at the inn.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. At this point in time, you watch as some of the others start filtering into the room.
I
Like,
finished
seriously,
a glass
why
of
wouldn't
wine.
you put in? Like,
Silver,
legitimately.
You walk into like Sildar at his desk and Pyth lounging on the couch with a glass of wine.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Silver.
Sildar immediately kind of looks up and he just sat down and he kind of...
Pyth rolls her eyes.
He
I
should be
need to
thinking
know.
this. He doesn't have to work.
I need to know.
He folds
Is
his
there
hand.
a single school in this entire town?
He laughs. Like, "Ma'am, I don't think you know where you are."
No, I do. I just want confirmation of my suspicions.
Suspicions confirmed then.
For the love of Pete, will you please? I know you're in charge. I know you're a very busy man, but as you are looking for the future, for the sake of the future of this town, will you consider hiring a single teacher?
Right.
Just one teacher.
Pyth is rubbing her temples.
He chuckles a little bit. He goes, "Well, maybe." And he
Have
then
you
he kind
been
of
to Barthen's Provisions lately?
he kind of looks at you and he's about to say something, but then he stops and goes, "Well, ma'am, yeah.
Have
I'm
you had a
familiar with
conversation
Barthen's."
with Thistle and Anders recently?
He laughs and goes, "Yes, ma'am. I'm very well acquainted with Ander and Thistle."
For the love of Pete, will you hire a teacher?
He laughs and goes, "Well, maybe when all this business is over, your wizardly friend will maybe and help us out a little bit with that. I understand he's a big shot
Yes,
as far as teachers go.
it's pretty much the best.
Though I'm not sure Ander and Thistle are probably well, let's say
Teachable.
they might not be able to pay the tuition."
Well, here's the other part that I'm thinking is that you should make it a free school.
Free school.
Yes, like a public school versus like a private school. I think that would be a good idea.
Well, that is a possibility. That might diminish your friend's prospects of coming down unless he wants to settle down.
Probably not.
He seems a little above our pay grade, I'm afraid.
Well, again, you don't have to have the best teacher ever, just somebody who can read and write and teach other people to read and write.
Well, we can certainly look into that. I will let the board know in our next town meeting.
Good. Can I look at
Sure.
your books, please?
George,
Or
I need
And he
for
kinda-
my brain cells.
He kind
I
of like
remember
there's
this
like
from
a
the first one.
ton of books behind him. He's like, what kind of books are you interested in?
Ones with words in them at this point. Can I just look at your bookshelves?
And he kind of points to the bookshelf.
Thank you. I go and I'm gonna investigate and see if I can find any cool,
sure.
like interesting
Sure.
books.
did I have something
Go
to
ahead and
write
do
on
an
the paper?
investigation.
Okay, hold on. 21.
21. Okay. So you basically take a few moments, you pull out a book here, open it, kind of thumb the pages a little bit, close it, go on to the next book. You do this for a few minutes. The rest of you, while Tor is doing this, what would you like to do?
Mahi's asking Tor for something to write with.
She is busy looking at books.
You have somebody else literally sitting at a desk with pens on it.
Alright. Big. I just brain farted so hard
Sildar,
and forgot his
Sildar,
name.
Sildar.
Thank you.
You kind of watch as he picks up
Sure.
his pen and starts to go to work, and then he stops. And he
Can I
sighs.
borrow a pen?
and he kind of doesn't look up. He's still kind of staring at his desk, and he's like frozen. And then he just slowly lifts his pen up in the air, doesn't lift his head, pulls the pen in your direction.
Thanks. Takes it and
This poor man.
writes the letter. I will actually send to you what I write
So you-
down.
you
because I
go-
actually.
So you go ahead and sit down and start kind of writing down on the coffee table, I assume.
But
Alright.
I'm not making it. I'm not trying to let everybody see what I'm writing. Too.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand. See how.
Crap.
Like, depends.
If
on
anyone
you.
was even paying
first,
attention.
is anybody even paying attention?
Does anybody
Trying to
want
see
to
it.
roll again this? Otherwise, it's.
Pyth is minding her business, sipping the last.
Yeah,
cup.
Tommy is looking real antsy, trying to get Pythe's attention.
Angelo's there, isn't he?
He's not.
Didn't he? Oh, I thought he was coming with. Okay.
He'll be coming in probably just a moment.
And that's
Trying to get
11.
Pyth's attention, you're probably gonna get it because she is not
So-
oblivious.
Oh, no, I'm not.
At 11,
not
which
wrong.
is
Oh, that's
below
me.
everyone's passive, I think, with the exception of Tavi. So, you know,
They could see it technically if they wanted to.
every so
Wait.
often, you kind of you take your pen in your hand, and it's hard because claws and everything. So you kind of hold it like a spoon, and you kind of write from the side while you take your other claw and try to cover over the book while you're doing it. And every so often, or the paper, and every so often you kind of look up, look around the room.
I'm not trying to act
Look back
sus,
down.
but at the same time, I'm not trying to like. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, I sent it to you. I think I sent it to you. Did it go through?
Yes.
My phone's weird. Okay, cool.
All right. So while you're doing this, Python, Tavith,
Yeah, I was just trying to get Pythe's attention.
Pyth
so-
sees him fidgeting and just slowly looks at him.
And okay, and I walk over to her. I'm like, are you still gonna help me with whispering? Are you still gonna help me with Vigo?
Yes, I found him actually.
Oh, you did.
He's outside. He has a store.
How'd that go?
I didn't speak to him for long.
Oh, you did one of your walking away things again?
it's a thing now.
I figured you would want to speak to your friend. No.
Well, I need help. I can't do it by myself. So
Can certainly help you.
maybe when we get out of here, Tor's done messing with books and stuff, and you guys stop talking about things I don't get.
We can do that. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And then I need to speak to all of you after that.
Deal.
All right. I'm assuming at this point Mahi has finished the letter, and he's just gonna fold it up and hand it to Sildar. That would be to Helm's Hold. You said you could get it there. DM.
He kind of nods.
Would this cost me anything? Like,
He shakes his head. No worries.
thank you.
I've
Thank
got
you.
some contacts at Helmhold. I wouldn't mind actually passing this along through as well. So we'll lump it up with the rest of them.
Thank you. And thank you for the pen. And then I hand him back the pen.
It'll probably be a couple days though.
That's fine.
A little tight on resources at the moment. Luckily, we got enough of what we did. I understand that there's talk of some more attacks along the road. Have y'all encountered anything on your way back?
We had a fight with some bandits, but nothing completely out of the ordinary.
That's disconcerting. Or anyone carrying the he kind of stops and looks around a little bit, leans in close. Anyone still having the red cloaks?
In the bag. Wasn't wearing it, but it was in the bag. I say over my shoulder.
As she's looking over a book, he kind of nods.
I did notice a man that I think he was a Red Brand here before. I actually ran into him earlier today, and he walked to that Mahi would know, but I don't know the the place with the mining exchange.
Miners Exchange.
Miners Exchange.
Yep. Pulling it. The Miners Exchange. You're concerned of any more red brands? I'd check there.
That's Aaliyah's place. That figures.
Mm.
And he kind of knocks on the wall again. Same guard comes out. He walks over to you. The guard walks over to you, Pyth, and hands you a map case.
Pyth just starts tucking the map into it.
And then he walks over to Sildar. Sildar stands up. And then he looks over to Mahi. If you could describe this individual that you saw, I'll have my men keep on the lookout for him.
What I have, my mental image and what he actually looks like may be different. So I explained to him what
Mahi
he looks
describes the man.
So do a because I want to see if Mahi can describe it. So do I don't know. I guess a straight intelligence check.
I'm just saying, I fought him. Like, I fought him and recognized it. Like, we've talked on multiple
What
occasions.
color are my glasses, Eli?
They're
Brown.
metal.
Lived with us for months.
That's a point. Roll an intelligence check and let's see how many
Ah.
detailed.
Eyes, Eli.
What color are his eyes?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay, Eli. We're just asking Mahi.
Mahi rolled a 2.
Okay, well then, yeah. So Mahi starts saying, "It looked like a man."
Hey, Mahi. Is this that guy you fought?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, DM, how long ago was that?
For us? Or
It was the same day. Earlier that day.
for us, in our perception, it would have been like
Weak.
Oh, wait.
Week and a
Hold
half.
on. As far
The
as the
fight.
fight, or as far as
Yes.
Mahi running into the
The
guy? 'Cause
fight.
I'm not sure if you saw that.
she was there.
I was
No,
there
she-
at the
She
fight.
was casting ice on them.
I was messing with that
Yeah.
fight.
The fight, yes. All right. So as far as the fight, that from your perspective would have probably been, I don't know. I think at this point you guys have
been about a week and a
probably
half.
good week and a half. Yeah, that's what I'm.
Well, no. It'd be
So,
because we knew each other for like about a half.
From
week.
the
So-
sleepy times that you guys have done, I'd say it's got to be probably a week and a half, or maybe a little
Pike
more.
keeps a diary.
so I can describe it. Yes, I can describe this man.
Is that your new toy?
Yes, because it's within the last month.
You did the thing that I thought you
That is
did.
correct. All right, so
Of course
that
you
is
did.
Totally describes the man.
absolutely correct. So the guard kind of just immediately stops paying attention to Mahi. Mahi's like, "It looks like a man."
And
y'all
humans,
look
they
alike.
all look the same.
He
I
was
was gonna
like
say, y'all
he
all look
had
alike.
he had skin and it was kind of like
Skin.
a tan color.
It
Might have
wasn't
been
like
bald.
white, but it wasn't like black. It was somewhere between those.
With like
He
a
might have been
reddish
bald.
tone to it.
I don't know.
Yes, Tor, you accurately described this person that Mahi fought, at least in the time frame. Now you're not aware of his current, clothing and
Right.
so forth, but you gave a good physical
His
description.
physical description, yeah.
The guard kind of nods and he takes out a little notepad and writes it down, and then he kind of turns over to Sildar. Sildar goes, "Make sure Darren's on this as well." The guard nods, and then he walks out. Sildar turns back to Mahi, and then kind of nods over at Tor before he acknowledges Mahi, and says, "Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We will certainly be on the whereabouts of this individual. Rest assured, we have tried to round up as many of them red brands as we possibly could. A couple might have slipped through the cracks. Apparently, this one. So we will hopefully try to apprehend him as quickly as possible." Now, you did say that you found some other ones out on the road, though. It's disconcerting. It sounds like there was more that escaped than we thought was possible.
Yeah, how many? Like 6?
7.
7?
I remember. Yeah, 7 showed up, 7 died.
All right. They all had red cloaks?
Well, just One, for sure.
Okay. Could be a rival, or it just could be survivors banded together to try to pick up what broken pieces they had of their former occupation. Fortunately, from what it sounds like, they might have chose the wrong path.
Well, they're dead, so.
Right. I gather that, sir. Just,
How are you a paladin with the higher charisma as you have?
And you still
Thing
say
is-
things like this to people.
And I assume it was all defensive nature.
They jumped us while we
Yeah.
were sleeping.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of looks at Sildar and he squints his eye, or he looks at Sildar. Sildar looks at Mahi, squints his eye a little bit. But just like that other bandit down over at Darren's place, right?
Not that one
murdered.
Mahi just murdered.
That's not
Does Tor
true.
say this?
Yes.
Wow.
That's not true.
And then Sildar kind of covers his ears and goes, "Is there anything else I can help you guys with?"
Did I find any good books?
You did not. You didn't know, but I mean, not anything that you would consider good. A lot of it is boring. I mean, you even found a couple of weird cookbooks for Fandolin stew, but you're not really
Okay,
sure.
But what kind of books did I find? Because at
Well-
this point, Tor is desperate.
At this point, nothing of a magical nature.
Okay.
But you did get a lot more of the lore surrounding the area. You did read about the Orcish invasion that occurred hundreds of years ago that destroyed this place. You actually pick out a part of the lore that involved the Black Talent, which relates to Mahi's sword.
Okay, can I pick up that book and can I look at Sildar? Hey, can I borrow this?
He kind of looks at you and he goes, "Sure, that was there before I started here, so it's kind of the town's library, I guess, I suppose. Do you have your library card handy?"
I have money.
He kind of laughs and he kind of shakes his head and waves it off. He goes, "It's all right."
Thank you.
He nods.
So
Make
should I just
sure-
put lore
Be
book?
sure to be kind and rewind. Bring it back.
Should I just add it as lore book?
Yeah, you can do Fandolin lore book.
Vandalore.
This will be Tor's reference for any obscure facts that she will just randomly bring out.
Y'all about to get a lot more fun facts.
Sounds about right.
This whole thing in one night.
Basically means that now that Tor has read it, that she doesn't have to roll for these things. She just has to ask. Would I know anything about this? Yeah, you know everything about this.
Fantastic.
And you relate it to the group.
Yes.
And the group ignores you and moves on.
As always.
Continues
I
to
give
run
them-
away from the next NPC hook.
I give
Heights.
them so many informations.
So many informations.
And they ignore all of the informations.
So many activities. Alrighty. What else are y'all doing? At this point, I'd say that Angelo is probably arriving.
Ugh.
Yeah. He limps in.
Hi.
Hello.
I want an insight check is ugh.
Okay.
I want to see if that was a they're here, or just like a I have a limp.
Pike stares very sadly at her empty wine glass.
14.
14.
Are you happy to see us, or no, or unreadable?
I don't know. What would I even roll against that?
Roll to be unreadable.
Deception, unless you want to just tell him what it is.
I'll just tell you what it is. He was looking at you and Pyth.
That's sharp.
Mahi's insight is keen. Sildar notices that you arrive, and he kind of waves over to you, Angelo, and he says, "Are you looking for Corlin?"
Yes, I am.
All right. Corlin told me before he left earlier he needs to see you before you all leave town, so make sure that you just keep handy. He said he'll find you.
Of course.
You could have told this to Pipe.
Why would he tell what Corlin's asking about Angelo? It has nothing to do with Pipe. In fact, actually, if I recall, when he did bring up Corlin, Pipe said not to talk about it.
But she also specifically before
He
that
dropped the
asked
subject.
if she could get in contact with Corlin.
He just said he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, he still doesn't.
He still doesn't. He just
Just
relaying the
that
message.
he says that Angela will find. Well, Corlin will find Angela.
Corlin will find Angela. Yeah.
I got the message.
Like technicalities.
Well, so he is not here. Can I look at your books?
He viscerally laughs and goes, "Sure," and he kind of looks over to Tor and he goes, "Would you be interested in starting a teaching profession when you're all done with your adventuring?"
Perhaps.
All right, well, we'll keep you in mind. Might as well start here, better place than any. And he ushers Angelo over to the books. Be my guest.
He starts scanning through every single book.
Basically does the same thing Tor did.
Pretty much.
Hey,
Gotta
what are you
roll
looking
it.
for?
Roll
Wait.
investigation.
I sent you a message.
What are you looking for?
22.
Okay.
What are you looking for?
There's no response.
Tor looks
She's
sad.
just gonna snoop
Yeah.
over his shoulder if he doesn't tell her.
Yeah, I mean, I'm watching, but I'm sad that he didn't answer me.
Click, 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 click.
Secrets,
Okay,
secrets.
I find a book.
What book is it?
I don't know, does it have a name? Mr. DM?
Because I'm watching. And so unless he tries to sleight of hand it, I am watching.
I am going to try to sleight of hand it so that nobody sees it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to perceive this.
Oh, good luck with that, friend.
All right, go ahead.
That is a 15 on the sleight of hand.
16 on perception!
It says Faerunian. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Hi. Faerunian deities.
Ah.
If it is okay with you, Sildar, I will be borrowing this for the night, and I put it in my jacket.
I need to leave. I'm not actually leaving, but like, that's where I'm at mentally. Well. If it isn't the consequences of my actions, Pyth isn't saying this.
Yeah, because Pipe didn't actually see it.
Oh, well.
Oh my god. This is too good.
The tea
Well,
in the room is just.
Awkward.
I'm gonna head to the bar.
Mahi breaks the silence.
Me.
Mahi, actually,
Mahi?
we could use your help with something.
Okay.
Oh, are we gonna do that thing?
We have an old friend to visit.
Yes.
Yes.
Do. Mahi's confused because he didn't hear the first
Mahi has no idea what we're talking about.
Ah, yes. The thing.
Ah. Oh,
Angelo
yeah,
walks over and like puts his pipe in his mouth.
That's right. Old friend. Yep.
What's old friend?
Well, his name is Vigo.
Pyth like opens her mouth to say something and then Tor talks, so she's like,
He's a tiefling fellow who really likes to scam people out of money. He's really fun to talk to, though. Really cool dude.
Ah,
We're
Yeah, we
good
bought
to
some things
go.
from him before.
We did. I scammed him back. It was fun.
Hopefully, we're going to stop him from scamming the townspeople any further.
Because we knew we were being scammed, and we thought it was funny. These people do not realize they're being scammed and they're losing money.
well. Let's go, shall we?
Oh. Sorry, unfortunately, you're NFI. Not flippin' invited.
Say this.
No. But Pike's face says it.
Okay, let's go.
So nice of you to join us, Angela. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I appreciate you, Mr. Goliath.
Hey, Angelo. I guess
Yes.
be talking to him as we're walking out. You're a detective. I figured you should know this. Found a previous red brand heading over to the, one second, let me look at it. Phandalin Miners Exchange. Maybe that will help you on your little, kind of like does his hands, investigation.
Mahi.
Dragonborn waving his hands and investing.
I will keep it in mind. Thank you, Paladin.
You can just call me Mahi.
You have not yet earned the respect of me saying the name. So for now, you are Paladin.
Mahi just kind of lifts an eyebrow. Just kind of like his face just says, okay. And then keeps walking. You know I'm still not gonna call him sir.
Pike's just gonna stand up, walk over and put the wine glass on Sildar's desk and just thank you for the drink and the talk.
Anytime. You all let me know if you find anything.
Will do. We'll see you around, I suppose.
Well, Godspeed.
She kind of just bows slightly and then follows the group out.
All right. Y'all
Angrily follows.
Y'all follow out of the town master hall.
Heavy
and
sigh follow.
Spill
Yes.
into the open town square area. There's a rather large commotion in the middle of the town square at this point. Several people crowded in a circle.
Is it about? Oh no, I don't know. Never mind. I can't ask that
I'm
question.
looking at Pipes and like, where do we go to see
Pyth waves them towards the crowd.
Vigo?
He's probably in the middle of it.
Oh, this is where he shines.
Do take the lead, my friend.
You want me? What?
It's your job.
Me to take the lead?
Yeah.
Just remember, and I put my hand on his shoulder. Friendly conversation. No.
Right,
no
I'm gonna
killing.
need help. I'm gonna need help with my ability checks, guys, because I'm still suffering from one level of exhaustion.
Actually, she's gonna look at Mahi and just, can you? Mahi?
You're gonna have him
Yeah.
talk.
I'm still gonna talk, but
Yeah. So let Tommy talk, and we can help him with checks. We can help.
all right.
Does Tor say something along those lines of, no, we should just let Tavi talk and not Mahi?
Yes.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's his job. You don't even know what we're doing.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is
Mike,
true.
we didn't.
I didn't even know Vigo was in town, but whatever.
Long
Yeah.
story short, Vigo is taking supplies from the Lion Shield Coster at a discounted price and then proceeding to sell them at a high price, claiming that they're magical. They're not.
Maybe I should
Tor
stay
has pointed
back
out.
because
Everyone here is stupid.
maybe I should stay in back because I already don't like him.
Exactly. See,
Mahi
sometimes
kinda
I say things not out of spite.
Cool. Mahi just kind of takes one step back and like is gonna let everybody else walk first, and then Mahi will trail behind.
Okay. All right. So the rest of you kind of filter into the crowd. Mahi, as you stand on the outskirts, you back away a little bit as you kind of watch as the rest of your group goes into the crowd. You feel a little nudge next to you, and you kind of look down, and there is a short, kind of crotchety, older, elven woman in a robe, holding the staff next to you, and she kind of leans over to you.
Mahi takes a step back. Do you need something, miss?
And she kind of looks at you from the side of her eye, and she goes, "How you been feeling?"
Fine. Very
She kinda-
confused.
She kind of chuckles a little bit and goes, "Well, that's good. That's good. Last time I saw you, there was a bigger, wider version of you around here."
You got frozen.
The woman remembers him getting almost killed.
And she kind of looks at you and she smiles and she kind of flips you over a copper coin.
That's my coin.
You
Like
catch
to
it?
give it to me? Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
she flips it to you.
Okay. Okay. I catch it.
All right.
Yes. That was quite some time ago.
And she kind of leans close and she goes, "Tamora smiled on you, didn't she?"
Is Python
I
doing this?
I feel like it was for me. Helm was looking down, I suppose.
He kind of squints a little bit. He goes, "That's okay. You could be a blasphemer all you like. But Lady Luck
be
knows."
Quite frankly, I don't believe in luck.
And she
No
kinda-
offense.
She kind of looks a little disappointed. She goes, "Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. But you know what they say about people who are unlucky?"
Yes.
No.
Say that, and she kind of laughs and goes, "Well, then you know that they're already dead, so they don't know." But that didn't happen to you, did it? And she kind of pats you on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I
Collar
was
tug.
fine. Yeah. Can I insight check her?
Go ahead.
14.
14. She's a little crazy old lady, kind of eccentric. But she
Okay.
clearly feels like she had something to do with your little encounter.
Well, have a good day. And Mahi gives her 2 copper pieces.
Now, as
That's
you
a
go
good
to
pick.
do so, she kind of tips her staff over to you and hoods herself back up, and then she starts wobbling over to the shrine. And as you notice, you look at the copper piece that's in your claw, and it's a gold piece.
Shoot. Mahi looks at it, looks at the old lady, looks at it, looks at the old lady, and looks at the shrine. And
Old
looks
lady,
up
would you
above
like to
and-
join our group?
Right?
I have tons of copper pieces.
He looks up and he says in Celestial, "Now why don't you do that for me?" and sticks it in his pocket.
Honestly,
Yeah.
mood though.
Is this the same lady that Tor met previously when she was using the shrine to resummon Drippy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she slapped you a couple times because you're
Oh, I
messing with her.
didn't get slapped because I gave her
Well-
a gold piece, if you recall.
I think she tried to snap at you, if I remember, because you were messing with her brazier, but yeah.
But then I gave her a gold. I told her that I had paid a gold piece because I hadn't seen anybody yet.
Brazier.
So
Razor.
as he talks to it, he's just like, thanks, miss.
And she kind of, as you hear, as she kind of trails off, she goes, "Watch out! Make sure you bundle up next time. I'm not always around to save you."
He scratches the back of his head.
The other cleric standing right there.
Okay.
The rest of you are already in the crowd, so none of the rest of you have watched this little encounter. Now, while this is going on, for the rest of you, as you filter through the crowd, you come to the center and you see Vigo is in the center at this point, and he's kind of standing on what looks to be some kind of a ball, balancing between both his arms and his tail, 3 daggers that are kind of held upright with the dagger point kind of holding in place as he's balancing these daggers and trying to maintain his balance on this ball. And then you kind of watch as he flips all the daggers up into the air. They all kind of spin, and then they all come down, and then he whips out his bag, and then he collects each one of them, and then he bows, and you kind of get like and he kind of somersaults off the ball and lands into course right not directly in front of you, but a little bit close nearby where you can kind of see him. You got a couple of people that are clapping, but it's kind of the slow golf clapping kind of thing. They're like, all right, that was okay. Vigo kind of looks around. He's still kind of in his bow, but he's kind of looking around, and he holds his bag up and kind of slowly drags it across in front of the people in front of him, just waiting for someone to drop something in there. And like nobody's doing it.
Poor Vigo.
And he kind of, at this point, he slowly kind of stands up, kind of mumbles something in an infernal. And then he kind of turns around and then quickly kind of does a little flourish. And as people start walking away, he goes,
do I understand what he said in Infernal?
yeah. He said something very naughty about the Hicks in this town.
Yeah, that tracks.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's it.
I just wanted to be able to flex that I speak Infernal.
Yes. Python nods in agreement with what she heard. The rest of you, not really sure. He flourishes back to the people as they start leaving and start dispersing. And it goes, remember, come see Vigo for all your purchasing needs. I have many more items to give. Please see me after the half show. And then he kind of walks back over to his desk.
And Tommy's gonna walk up to his desk.
We're all gonna follow Tommy.
He kind of watches, he starts adjusting his little sign, and he kind of takes a step back and does the little picture frame motion with his fingers. And then he kind of looks over and sees the group coming over. He kind of smiles real big, and he bows with his hands flourishing and his tail sticking out. He goes, welcome, my friends. Welcome to Vigo's Magical Emporium. Currently, this is our Phandalin location, but we are looking to franchise if any of you are interested.
And Tavi adjusts his loincloth, like in I mean business type of way.
Vigo's not getting the. Go ahead and roll.
Does he recognize us?
You don't really get the gist that he does. He's kind of acting like you've typically seen him do with everybody else so far in this town. Tavi, are you rolling any intimidation?
Not yet.
Okay. All right. You're just adjusting yourself?
Yeah, just approaching. So you can
shifting your weight?
Yes.
Pipe is just gonna like stand behind Tavi and cross her arms, and that's how she's going to help.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
my
mimic Pyth.
that's my advantage.
Right?
To bring me
Flanking.
straight rolls.
You have two women flanking you, both being mildly intimidating, but letting you take the lead.
I'm probably a lot less intimidating because I'm not trying to be. I'm trying to mimic Pyth.
As you guys approach in this manner, so Vigo kind of handstands on top of his little table and backflips into his chair on the other side, spreads out his arms over the table, which is currently at this point it's all empty. He takes out his little bag and puts it in the center. He goes, now tell me, what mystical items can Vigo sell to you today that you would very, very much buy for me with lots and lots of your money that you obviously do have, because people, you don't look like you from around here, just like Vigo.
Well, Vigo, we remember you.
Oh yes, Vigo remember all his customers. You sir, you's a big boy. Now, let me tell you something, sir. You like to punch people, do you not?
Yes, how could you guess?
Vigo knows this. Vigo knows everything. I tell you everything. Now listen to Vigo. Vigo has the thing for you. You like to punch to the people? Punch the bad naughty monster? Vigo will show you an item that will help you for the
Stay on
punches.
task.
Then
Stay on task.
He goes into his bag and he pulls out these leather gauntlets and he sets them on the table. And they look like they're pretty shoddy. I mean, the strappings are kind of falling apart and everything.
Are they even big enough for Tavi?
The metal parts are a little bit rusted, and really, they are smaller. Like Tavi, if he were to try to put them on, they're sort of like bracers, but they would probably stretch and tear from the sides if he did. It's like squeezing in fat man in a little coat kind of thing. But he still lays them before him anyway, and he goes, "These, my friends, these are called the gloves of excessive force."
Oh my word.
Vigo, that sounds very interesting, but
Legend tells.
I am not here to buy anything at the moment.
Oh, but
Claps
Vigo
for
hasn't told
Tavi.
you what the legend
Claps for
tells.
Tavi.
You must let Vigo tell you what the legend tells.
Don't let him tell you.
Please don't.
Vigo
How
tell you
about
anyway.
how about I
The
tell you a
tells
legend?
you that if you punch
Go on.
somebody with excessive force, you do very, very much damage to their face. This must be good for you in your apparent line of occupation. Yes, I assume.
Would you like me to demonstrate
And he kind of stops
the
and he's
punch of
like,
excessive force?
"Well, Vigo say if you touch it, you buy it, but
Oh, I can show you without the gauntlets.
okay, Vigo gets understands. Maybe this is not for you. I mean, look, your pants, you meat hooks. You'd not be able to put you can't wear these. It's not for you. Vigo knows what you like. Vigo sees that you have let's just say you have no pants.
I like it
Vigo-
that way, Vigo. Thank you.
Vigo, maybe get you some pants.
No, I have a proposition for you, Vigo.
Ooh, and Vigo doesn't usually get the propositions to him. Vigo
Yes.
gives the propositions to others, but he never gets it himself. Tell me, Mr. Big Man, what can you do for Vigo? And maybe Vigo do something for you. You scratch my tail, and I, what?
How about
whatever you
this?
have back there.
How about I give you some gold and you get out of town?
He kind of shakes his head a little bit, like he just got stunned. And Vigo kind of leans in and goes, did I sell you something before in the past, perhaps? No refunds. Vigo knows this. Vigo say no refunds on every purchase. He's seen the fine line print that you have to sign when you procure from Vigo.
No, we've purchased from you before. We were satisfied. Only because
Vigo likes this, likes to hear stratification that comes from his customers.
But it would be even more satisfying if you weren't here.
Well, Vigo is here now because
Mm-hmm.
Vigo sees potential in this. What?
So where are you
Whatever the
getting
hell
your
we are,
where are you getting your where are you getting your items, Vigo?
Oh, Vigo gets his items from far across the sea and far across the desert and far across other places where there are things to walk over.
And I'm gonna slowly point at the Lion Shield Coster and be like, you mean places like right there?
Oh, Vigo cannot reveal his sources.
Well, listen here.
Vigo keeps his vendor confidentiality very, very much. You know, the secret, hush, hush. No, I mean, if everybody had the much magical items that Vigo has, they would put Vigo out of business.
Don't the daggers literally have the lion shield coster symbol?
Absolutely.
Yes.
So does the gauntlets, except that these one look like that. He's they're apparently the what do you call it? The you know, the trial versions, the ones that people put on displays that everybody handles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the display ones.
Display.
Yeah.
I take
Right.
her daggers
Pi.
and kind of just stabs it into the table and goes, "Care to explain?"
He kind of looks at the dagger up and down, and then he looks back at you. He goes, "Of course, you must have bought this from Vigo. You're a Vigo customer. You were here earlier. You talking to the man who did not buy the dagger. You must have." And then he kind of stops and goes, "Oh, I see."
I take
So-
her back, does a little flourish, and puts it back in her belt.
He kind of watches his demeanor is changing a little bit. He kind of goes from where this circus scene type of atmosphere to he's kind of watching the corners of his eyes and darting back and forth, and he's very much intent on trying to see where the local guard is at the moment. And then he starts kind of backing up a little bit behind his desk and giving a little bit of a few feet from it. He goes, "Oh, well, Vigo apologizes if there was something Vigo did to offend you. I mean, Vigo, unfortunately, he how do you say, he's not from around here, so maybe our cultures clash, and Vigo say the wrong thing. Sometimes it happens, but no refund. But maybe Vigo give you discount next time. Yes, we call it even, perhaps. Yes."
No.
No, Vigo.
So,
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, at which point do you want to start intimidating?
I was about to like grab him by his chest. and, like,
No. Grab him by his horns.
Oh, okay, right, yes.
All right, go ahead
By
and
his
just
horns.
do a grapple.
All right, here goes a straight. Since they're with me.
It would be athletics.
That is gonna be. Where's that? Oh, 23.
23. Oh my god. Okay. Nope. And that actually did a good roll, but that's a 20. All right. So he kind of watches Tadvi kind of lunges over the table and grabs both of Vigo's horns and kind of almost kind of pulls them up into the air a little bit where his feet is dangling a little bit. And Vigo's like, he takes his hands and puts it on Tavi's hand, trying to pry his hands off of his horns. And he's wiggling his feet and his tail is kind of swishing wildly back and forth. Ow, no, not the horns. No, Vigo horns. He spends many years to manicure.
I bet, Vigo, but I asked you, how much would it If I gave you some gold, would you leave?
Do you let him go?
I'm not waiting for him to answer the question.
All right, so he's still lingering in the air. Go ahead and roll intimidation at this point, since you are like
Intimidating.
like grappling him.
All right. Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a variant rule where you can use your strength modifier instead of your charisma. I'd say for this purpose, this makes sense for what you're doing, since you're doing a physical act.
In that case, it's 20.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he kind of. I mean, at this point, he's not necessarily struggling, other than the fact that he wants you to stop because you're hurting him.
I'll let him know.
Vigo, let him go. Let Vigo go. Let Vigo go.
There's a town not too far from here called Connerberry that we came from that you can set up shop in if you'd like.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Oh, please. Alright, that's 13.
Are you still holding him, or have you let
Yes.
him go yet?
I'm still holding him.
Okay. So he tries to shake his head, but he can't because you're holding him. It's like, oh, Vigo, not sure about this, but if you let Vigo go, maybe we can do the business. Yes, please let the Vigo go. And he's kind of starting to try to turn his head over so he can see. He's kind of looking for a card.
Okay, I'll put him down.
All right. You let him go, and he kind of plops to the ground, and he picks himself back up and dusts himself off. He kind of tries to straighten his horns. Oh, thank you. Now, why all the meanness to the Vigo? What did Vigo do to you?
Well, Vigo, we're...
You don't know Vigo's wife, do you?
No, I don't. I don't think I want to know.
Okay, good. You don't know Vigo's landlord, do you?
These all sound like Vigo problems.
Vigo has many problems. This is why Vigo needs to sell his wares so Vigo
Well,
can live. For
You can
many
sell your
years.
wares, Vigo, but you can sell it somewhere else, not in Phandalin.
Where is Vigo supposed to go?
I said Connerberry. There's
Neverwinter's an option too.
I bet
I'm trying to get him to
Candlekeep
go-
would appreciate
I'd
your
like-
business.
He kind of
There
listens
you
to all
go.
these suggestions. He kind of ignores the Connerberry one since he came from that direction, and he kind of looks over. He acknowledges Tor's and probably been suggestions as they're kind of spouting off names.
Yes, those are
And he
bigger.
kind of sighs and he looks over to his pouch, kind of opens it up and ties it up, attaches it to his belt. Then he goes ahead and opens his backpack that he's carrying. And he takes his table and he rips off the sign and he stuffs it in the backpack. And then he takes the table and it kind of collapses in on itself and folds in to where it's kind of like a short little maybe about like a 3-foot plank. And then he kind of takes it and stuffs it into the backpack, which is larger than the backpack, but it goes in there. And he kind of pops the top of it because it kind of gets stuck.
I kind of glances at Tor and then nods at the bag.
Tor sighs because she already knows that he has a bag of holding.
He's
Sure.
actually he's got a bag of holding that he's got attached to his belt, and his handy haversack that he's smacking the current his table into at this moment. Eventually, it disappears into it, and he flips over the top cover, ties it up, straps it onto his back, and kind of looking around. He's kind of patting himself. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh! And then he opens up one of the side pouches from the sack, and he pulls out a staff. And It's like a magician trick. And he plops staff on the ground. And he goes, "Tell me where these places are that you speak of."
I look at Tor and Python like,
Well, Neverwinter is you're gonna follow the road out to the main road, and then you're gonna head north. Yeah, north. Neverwinter's north from here, right? We went south.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like northwest. Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna basically just take the main road until you hit Neverwinter. It's like little over a day's journey, if I remember correctly, how long it took to get here.
And you literally point in the direction where it is. And so he kind of looks and follows your fingers up and down your arm and kind of looks off into the horizon in that distance, and kind of looks back over at Tavith, kind of tips the staff over to you. Goes, "Well, wish to Vigo luck. He's going to. Methinks that Phandalin is no good for Vigo business at the moment.
It's not.
It's dried up at this point. Many farmers they don't see adventure like you apparently do.
You'll
Maybe
find more
Vigo.
business up in Neverwinter. It'll be better up there.
Maybe Vigo thinks he find more people like you. Yes."
Yes, for sure.
Alrighty. Well, Vigo wishes you luck, and maybe Vigo meets again. And then he kind of squeezes between Tor and Tavith and heads off towards the
road.
exit to town.
Y'all do realize someone forgot it might have been Solar that Neverwinter's kind of in a pandemic. Things right now.
That's a
point.
Vigo problem.
That's a Vigo
yeah. It's all of
That's
it,
a
like
Vigo
his
problem.
wife
problem.
and
To
his
get Vigo to
landlord.
leave.
Okay.
Next time you see Vigo, he's gonna wear a mask.
Tor holds her hand up to Tavi. Good job.
High five, and it's like eclipsing her whole.
You like takes her
Arm.
whole arm out.
Yeah.
Pipe kind of just pats Tavi's back.
Like, thank you guys. I literally could not have done it without you.
No, you pretty much had the one handled. You did good. Very non-violent solution. You didn't try to kill him.
Didn't
You
get
didn't try to
distracted.
sacrifice
It
him.
was-
You stayed on topic. You did good.
I was holding back. I was about to tell him if he didn't leave, I was gonna, or if he came back.
Angelo specifically analyzing
It
the
wouldn't
sacrifice thing.
Oh no.
It's like, wait, what?
Mm.
You did good.
He's gonna hear
Thanks.
that and then go read his lore book about religion later.
And he's
Right, yeah.
like, wait, who's the cleric?
Okay, now no rush, but whenever we have a chance to go back to Lenine, I'm ready.
We can go now. Anybody else got anything they want to do?
Everyone.
I need to stop by Botman's.
Mahi
Oh
is
my
you don't
God.
want to go there. You don't want to go there, Python.
Mahi is waiting on his shield, but that won't be ready until the morning.
Yeah.
So you could
Maybe
always
not.
go in the morning.
We could wait till the morning
Alright
if
then.
that's good for you.
For
Mahi
the
and everyone.
the shield coster specifically, Python, not.
Yeah. So we can all go to Barthen's with Python.
Where are you, Angelo?
I've been hanging in the back of the group this entire time, just kind of watching everything happen.
Okay, so passively, you've been kind of noticing as you kind of stare across the street. And you've been kind of circling around the town square a little bit while everyone's been doing their
Mhm.
thing. To the side of the Stonehill Inn, you can catch what looks to be kind of a small halfling character that has been kind of intently watching the group since they have left the Townmaster Hall. And he's kind of with a head poking around the corner of the inn.
Do I know what he looks like ish?
You're pretty far away. I mean, he's probably like 120 feet away from where you currently are right now. But you can tell from the way he's been positioned, he's been staring at you guys for several minutes.
I'm gonna walk over.
So as soon as you start walking towards that direction, and if you're making the beeline to him, or are you kind of...
I'm gonna try to stealthily, like, not make it look like, hey, I'm
Okay.
walking
I'm
towards
coming
you.
for you.
Go
I'm
ahead.
coming for you as I draw my
You're
rapier.
approaching me?
I'm approaching. Go ahead and roll stealth for me.
Yes. What is
See
my
how-
stealth?
You better have good stuff.
I don't know.
Yes,
what
I
is
have
it?
stealth. Natural 20. Okay.
Ah!
Who needs stealth when you have a nat 20?
So,
No one.
Except
so I mean,
Shiz.
you're out in the open, so you can't necessarily go
Yeah.
visible as far as this goes. But for the most part, yeah, you do kind of distract yourself as if you were heading basically out of town.
Mhm.
And as you, while keeping kind of an eye in the corner of your eye, and you are also appearing for your limp and everything as well. So you're going at a somewhat of a brisk pace, but in the way that you do so. As you get to where you're perpendicular from kind of the porch area of the inn, and you're kind of directly across from him. Now at this point, it's probably about 30 feet.
Mhm.
You kind of watch. He's been watching the whole time, and as you get past him, almost as if you're going to walk past the inn, his head kind of ducks behind and disappears into the alley.
Hmm. Just gonna walk where he was.
You're gonna backtrack and go back. At this point,
No,
you're
I'm
on
gonna-
the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
walk
could
to where the halfling
go
was.
around, or you could go to where he is in the front.
Wait, here, let me pull up my little map. That'd probably be helpful.
He doesn't know where he is or where he's going.
I'm gonna go around.
Well, the DM's gone, so.
Oh, bye, Sean.
Oh dang.
As your new supreme overlord, I immediately. Okay, never mind.
I don't know.
Dang.
Hit the wrong button or something.
Tor trying to take over.
Hold
I
on.
didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Insight check me.
She calls herself
Inside
Supreme Overlord.
check.
I don't know exactly when you left, so what's like the last thing that you heard?
We were describing where you are. So you're on the main road now, in
Yep.
between the Shrine of Luck and on the other side of the Stonehill Inn.
Yep.
He's on the other side of that, and he ducked towards the north.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go around.
Okay, so around in terms of the back entrance.
Yeah.
So as you kind of watch that, you kind of slowly kind of limp your way until you're out of sight. And as soon as you kind of watch him kind of dart in the other direction, you also take off into the other direction and kind of dash to the other side. As you come to the other side and you look to the right, you watch him kind of turn, and you both kind of meet each other at the same time. He kind of turns and stares at you for a little bit, and then he takes off towards the direction of the manor.
No.
Follow him. Follow him.
I'm gonna follow him.
He's obviously saw you, and now he's running.
Split the party.
Chase him.
Wait!
Party.
I'm gonna follow him.
He does not stop. He's running.
I'm gonna hobble along.
All right.
Chase him.
So
Ah!
are you
Ah!
Holly?
Yes.
Okay.
Do any of us, specifically Mahi, who wasn't in the group, see him running off?
Mahi was in the Vigo part of it. Just not the initial Vigo part, but he was around
And
the table.
technically, I don't think Mahi would have
Mahi
seen
was-
because Angelo rolled stealth.
That's true.
So that's
Angelo snuck off, not even the group noticed.
He
We're like,
kinda, yeah.
oh, he's gone? Good.
He went off on his own on this
Okay.
point.
At this point, he's asking you guys, did y'all see that lady, Luck lady, heal me when that stuff went down? Talk about the dragon. Like, that's at the point he's at right now.
No.
Yeah.
Are you talking about that, or?
I mean, I'm assuming. I just called him Richard. Angelo is still doing his thing, so I didn't want
No,
to.
Daring
we're
you
letting
disrespect
him do his thing.
Yeah.
All right, we can come back to you. All right.
Oh yeah,
so-
my thing that's gonna get me killed? Of course.
Yes.
That's a you problem now.
Yeah, it is, and I take full responsibility.
Okay, so as you watch, he gets a couple houses down, and he's running down the street. And of course you guys are off the street. You're in the back alleys here, this area. But he's running towards the east in the direction of the manor. He gets right about to where the Sleeping Giant building is, and then he turns and tucks right in between the alleyway there.
Am I able to cut through that little space and go behind?
Right, so you can kind of like stop. So he goes on the other side of that blue house. You're on the other side of the red house, basically. You want to kind of meet him on the street? Okay. So you also kind of match him at this point, and then you cut. Go ahead and just roll, at this point, dexterity for me.
Just straight decks?
Yes. If with advantage if you're going to run normally, or disadvantage if you're going to hobble.
Can anybody see me?
No. Nobody's...
Oh,
What?
Advantage.
he's been faking it.
What?
You little fake.
19.
I'm gonna kill this man in his sleep.
No, I love him.
As you notice he's getting a little bit further away from you, you go ahead and match speed, and then you duck into the alley and run as fast as you can, dashing forward until you come out to the open street, and then you turn to your left, expecting to see him, but he doesn't come out.
Can I continue to look for him
All
in
right.
this area?
So you go ahead and go over to the other side. So you're right next to the Sleeping Giant Inn at this point, and you kind of look down that aisle, and there's no one passively that you see at this point.
That's really saying something.
Dang, can I try to roll to see?
Go ahead.
That does not beat my passive. Yeah, never mind. In that case.
Now, what you do see as far as your passive goes is you look down, and there are recently quite a few tracks. They come from around that corner, around the blue house, and stop halfway. And then what's interesting is that the small tracks that you kind of identify as halfling, the next set of tracks are of a larger humanoid.
Yeah, I figured.
Would
And then you go
Angelo...
off towards the Sleeping Giant Inn. Of course, then the tracks stop once you get to the wooden porch.
How big is this foot compared to mine?
So you go ahead and measure it accordingly. It's larger. It's bigger than a standard human's foot.
Okay, so I'm looking for a guy taller than
Not
5'11".
too much, though, but you're definitely looking at a larger humanoid. That can narrow it down to a couple of different races. It's still a foot, though.
Yeah,
You know,
it still just
and
looks
it's
like a
kind of
normal
like a boot print.
humanoid. boot,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you basically you don't see anything that would would remove more of the monstrous varieties. So this will be definitely more of a larger humanoid.
I'm gonna follow the footprints into the sleeping giant.
So as they kind of stop towards the porch, you go ahead and walk onto the porch area and enter in the Sleeping Giant Inn.
Yes.
All right.
Ah, jeez, I hate this place.
So yeah, it's pretty run down. Not that you necessarily have been here before, but it's run down. As you walk in, there is a very surly female dwarf that is manning the counter. And do I have? Let's see. I should have it. Bum bum bum. Well, there's like legit like Skyrim looking pictures on this thing. We don't want 3D. Okay, there we go. This one's a good one. Bye, Phandalin map. I don't need you now.
Ooh.
All right, so there are several tables spread out before you here as you enter in. The dust and the smell kind of hits you. It's moldy. It's stale. I mean, the hint of alcohol is definitely thick in the air, as well as smoke.
How many people are in here?
Right now, you're as you kind of take a look at the area. There is. You see about 3 dwarfs on one table. You see about 2 humans, 1 male, 1 female, on another table. There is there's what looks to be a half orc in the corner, and there are about 2 halfling creatures. Well, not creatures, humanoids. 2 halflings that are in the table right across from you. For the most part, everybody kind of, as soon as you enter in, it's one of those silent moments where everybody kind of stops, looks up from your drink, sees you.
I'm limping again, by the way.
Gives you the eye as you kind of limp inward. A couple of the more surly characters, including the female dwarf bartender, kind of smirk as you kind of walk in, and then they kind of all go back to their drinks.
I'm gonna go up to the dwarf lady. Excuse me. Did you see anyone? Did you see anyone just enter
What?
here?
I can't hear you. This
Madam.
is a female dwarf, by the way.
Did you see anybody just enter here
And
right
you
before me?
watch her as she starts picking her nose, and she kind of flicks it off in your direction.
Thank you.
She kind of nods, and then she kind of smiles. And she takes like her dirt, like her rag is like totally dirty. It's more dirtier than the cup that she's cleaning, and she sticks it in there, kind of jams it real quick.
Can I get
And
to
she just
know?
kind of smiles, but she's like missing teeth and everything, and she has like a little bit of a shadow.
If it is no problem, could I get a drink?
Well, what's your pleasure?
Something strong.
Oh, we got some strong stuff for you. What's your name? I haven't seen you around here before.
Archie.
Archie.
Harris.
Yeah, you look like an Archie. You look like an Archie. I used to know an Archie.
Yes?
Oh yeah. Well, I think it was my 4th, my 5th husband. I can't remember. Yeah. I think that was the one that was yeah. That one was
Well, I do not see why the first 3 would leave you.
Me neither. And she kind of, as she dips, there's like an open keg like right next to her, and she kind of just the cup that she was just cleaning, she kind of scoops up, and there's like this brownish, tarish liquid that she plops in front of you. It smells worse than the the environment at this point, and she shoves it in your face, and you watch as it kind of the froth kind of spills over and slaps onto the counter and trickles down the edge and drops onto your boot.
I grab it, and I take a big long swig, and I look at her the entire time.
And she kind of watches as you kind of chug it, but she notices she's like looking at the glass and kind of noticing that it's not really going down as you're kind of just holding it in motion. Are you drinking?
I drink it.
Okay, then she kind of watches it kind of slowly starts
Right.
in your throat.
It's like all connected.
Do you drink all of it, or do you?
A good half of it.
All right, so you stop about halfway, and then you kind of slam the mug down on the counter, and equally kind of spills out a little bit from the impact, and just start licking your lips and gagging a little bit.
How much for this?
It's on the house, dearie.
He's gonna get poisoned or something.
And what about that man who just entered before me? And I'm going to lay 5 gold on the table, but I'm going to keep my hand over it.
Go ahead and roll persuasion for me.
Me and my negative charisma. Okay.
But with advantage, because you gave her 5 gold.
Oh, okay. 17.
17.
Pretty good.
She scoops those up, and you watch. I mean,
He kept his hand over it.
She jumps on that. All 5
Okay, he
gold.
probably
So go
lets
ahead and
her.
remove the 5 gold. And then she directly points over to the half-orc in the corner that's kind of watching the window. His back is turned to the rest of the group. It's like, that the fella just came in right before you did.
Thank you kindly.
And she nods.
I hope to be seeing you around. And I wink at her.
Well, I'm free in just a couple of hours.
I will keep that in mind.
Me
And I'm
too.
going to pick up my drink, and I'm going to walk over to the half-orc. Or orc. You said half-orc, right?
The half-orc.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
So he's not actually at it. I mean, he's standing behind a table, but like I said, he's watching the outside windows that's facing the street at this point from your perspective. So he's kind of standing there and kind of swaying a little bit back and forth, looking nervously. He hasn't noticed your presence at this point.
Excuse me.
He kind of stops and he kind of freezes. And then you watch as he kind of slowly turns around. It's sort of an olive-ish type of coloring to his skin. You kind of see as kind of got 2 tusks that jut out from his bottom lip. You could definitely see, I mean, some of the humanoid features of him, but if you had to guess, I mean, he tends to be more on the orcish side of the family than not.
Is he taller than me?
He is.
Okay.
And he's not very hefty. He is taller, a little bit lanky. He's dressed pretty common. Some of his trousers looks almost a little frayed at the end, and mud slapped on it. Mud looks on your. I can't have you roll for anything at this point. There's no point. The mud on his boots are fresh.
Do you mind if I sit down with you for a while? And I motion for him to sit as I sit.
He squints one eye at you. Do I know you, brother?
No, but I'm hoping we can change that.
He nervously he pulls a chair out in front of him, and he kind of slowly sits down, or he's kind of straddling, where he's not necessarily content or comfortable where he's sitting, as if he's giving himself some leeway to make a quick exit if needed.
Makes sense. I do place my left hand on the table constantly with my hand open, kind of facing him.
He kind of watches you.
What is your name?
takes him a minute, actually. I don't have a name prepared for him. But also for a reason. Bubba. No.
Bubba.
Haggard.
Well, my name is Archie. And how do you spell his name?
Haggard, Hagurk.
Okay, I spelled it right.
Haggurk.
Haggard, I will keep this brief. I just want to ask you 2 or 3 questions. You just came in here, correct?
Yeah, what's due?
Usually I am very good at tracking people, I can find people, and I'm a very good investigator, but you managed to accomplish something I've never seen before. You changed the size of your feet. How do you do that?
Kind of watch, he just gets super nervous. And you can hear the scooting of the chair.
I would suggest answering me. You are not in a position to run, and I'm going to look at my hand, and I'm going to look back up at him.
And he looks at it. And he kind of stops and goes, well, what do you mean?
You will not be standing by the time you reach the door. So I suggest you answer me. I just want what is best for the both of us.
Go ahead and roll persuasion for me. With advantage.
16.
16. He looks around the room. Everyone knows at this point is nobody's paying attention. There's enough clamor kind of in the air where your voices aren't really being observed at this point. What do you want?
I want an answer to my question. How do you change the size of your feet? It is very simple. You did it. I assume you know how you did it. And I want to know.
At this point, you watch him relax a little bit. And he kind of slumps kind of to one side with his elbow on the table. And he grins a little bit. He goes, maybe I'm a wizard.
Is that so?
He shrugs.
Well, please, demonstrate something for me. I'm always eager to learn.
And you kind of watch as he lifts up his hand. And he looks around the room. And he shows you his hand. And you watch the hand shift from one skin tone to another, where it was kind of an olive greenish tone to where it's now a pinkish hue. And you watch as the hand kind of shrinks down very slightly. And then as quickly, it returns back to what it was previously.
That is fascinating. And I want to inside check that. What is, what I know? What that, like, is there anything I can even roll?
Yeah, so probably this might be nature, to be honest. Well, it's like animal. I would say, you know what? Just do an investigation. freaking.
You let this happen.
Shape shifting apparently seems to be what he is doing. By the deductions from all the evidence that basically point to this person, this was probably the halfling that you were just chasing that is now a half-orc in front of you, and he seems to be able to control his ability to shape as will.
And you said your name is Haguk, right? Haguk? I'm saying that's right?
Sure. And he kind of whispers, "Day it is."
Today? What was it yesterday? Or what was it a few moments ago when you were a small halfling?
Whatever I need it to be.
Can I have a name?
Haggard will do for now.
That will do. Haguk, I want you to do me a favor.
He leans over.
I do not want you to leave town for the next few days. I will be in contact with you.
He kind of chuckles a little bit. What are you, some kind of guard?
No, on the contrary. I'm no guard. Do I look like one?
Not really. Not with that limp of yours.
No. This limp is the result of losing a bet. And I did not own up to my end of the bargain. So, just stay in town for the next few days. I will keep in contact with you. I just want to find out more. I assure you, no one will know of this conversation.
He kind of he looks a little bit more at ease, and you notice that his other hand, which has been under the table, he lowers it, and there's a glint of something shiny that hits your eye, reflects off the light.
What is it?
Well, if my sleight of hand can beat your freaking passive perception.
Good luck.
Oh man, that's a 10. No, it does not. Yeah, it looks like a dagger. He was holding it under the table, but he watches he stealthily tries to sheave it on his side.
Like he wasn't about to stab you.
I appreciate that you don't trust me. I like that about people. It makes me trust them more.
Pipe in a minute. I should be higher on your list.
So, I believe we have nothing further to do here. And please, do not tell anyone about me.
Likewise.
Of course. And I'm going to get up.
He watches you as you do.
I'm going to nod at him.
He doesn't nod back.
And I'm going to walk out.
And he follows you as you walk. Limping?
Yep.
Okay. All right. You find yourself outside in the street. At this point, it's starting to get late in the afternoon, and though the sun hasn't quite set yet, but it is slowly diminishing behind.
Did he follow me outside?
Do you wait a few minutes?
No. No, I'm not waiting.
You spin around a little bit just to see if there's any motions from inside.
That casual, like, you spin around while walking.
You kind of thought you heard, and you can't really tell because the grizzled voices all sound the same, but you're not sure if you heard some other type of manly voice come out from you that was kind of said something right before you left, but you couldn't quite catch it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to... I'm gonna go to the square and just try to scan for the group to see if they're
No,
still
wait.
there, but I don't know what they have been doing
So yeah, how long has it been?
during this time.
Yeah, so it's been a few minutes accordingly. You guys
10?
have have no idea where Angelo left. So at this point, Vigo has left. You are all in the town square. You're watching now as kind of the traffic tends to be start flowing towards the residential sections, walking past the shrine. You watch as some people start paying the alms box. You do see Sister Gariel sitting next to the shrine, nodding, thanking patronages that walk by. Everyone is starting to filter to go home, and you're kind of left out in the open square with just a few guards that are walking up and down the streets.
So as I kind of look around and see that Angelo has disappeared, I'm gonna kind of just look to the rest of the group. I need to speak with all of you privately.
All right.
Like privately, or like in the open privately?
Like, let's go to the inn.
Ah, okay.
To the end.
So
Okay.
she goes and
We
like,
follow Python.
she goes to her room specifically and opens the door and just kind of holds it to let them all filter in.
Slip over. I don't say this in character.
Honestly, though, it would fit Tor.
Nah.
I'm obviously like, it smells nice in here.
I was gonna go over to one of the,
Eyebrows.
like, a chair and just sit down, cross her legs, cross her arms. So I spoke with Sildar. And I asked him what he knew of Angelo and Coraline. They were brought in pretty much around the time that we disappeared. And Coraline appears to have some association with Glassstaff. I know this may not be what you want to hear. And she kind of like glances at Tor. But I'm not saying this because I have ill will towards my brother.
But you do.
I won't deny that. But I can also say that I know him. And I know that he's not the kind to come adventuring.
Yeah, well, I know him more than I know you.
Granted. But you also know I've saved your life. And you have saved mine.
Yeah, not denying that, but
I'm telling you that I don't trust him as someone who knows him.
and I'm telling you I do trust him.
I'm not saying that you need to turn against him, but I think that you should be on your guard.
How does he know Glassstaff?
I don't know. I only know what I could get through Sildar. They apparently were together in Candlekeep, perhaps, for some time.
Oh, whoa, two wizards knew each other at Candlekeep? How suspicious.
Perhaps not on its own, but in I forgot what's the word I want here. In
Context?
sure. But in the context of the fact that he also only recently joined the Alliance. Particularly once we started getting involved in all of this. Chances are he couldn't have known that it was me.
Well, it makes sense that they would get involved about the time we disappeared, because, I mean, we disappeared and we were the only ones looking, so they had to get somebody else involved.
I just kind of like rubs her face. How well do you think you know Coraline, truly? And she's not asking this in like a pretentious way. She's like actually being like, how well do you think you know him?
Just out of curiosity, is just Tor and Python, or is everyone else?
No, she brought the whole group in.
Sitting there kind of looking between the two.
I just wanted to make sure you all are in on this one. Okay.
And Pyth is kind of trying to keep her voice down too.
Except for Angelo, of course, he's not here yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Once again, Pyth waits until Angelo's gone before she starts doing
Yep.
that.
It's intentional.
This will be a thing.
Tor kind of shrugs. She doesn't really know how to answer the question. You can kind of see it in her face. It's like, I don't know. He was my teacher. He taught me. Spent a lot of time in his office.
Tor is gonna not Tor. I'm not Tor. I'm Python.
Yeah, I'm Tor.
I'm Tor.
This.
No, I'm Tor.
Fine, I'll be Python.
Python's gonna slowly uncross her legs and kind of lean forward with her elbows on her knees and just. I can tell you from experience that I have trusted mentors before who led me astray. I know I'm not. She gestures vaguely with her hand. I'm not Archer. But I did make a promise to him that I would protect you.
Tor leans forward too. Coraline? Before Archer? Coraline is the only person who has ever shown that he for sure cares about me. Coraline taught me my magic. Coraline gave me Drippy. Coraline didn't basically kick me out of the house when he found out that I liked necromancy. Coraline doesn't make fun of me every time I talk or ramble. So you cannot trust Coraline all you want, and you can do your best to keep your promise to Archer, but without Archer, Coraline still ranks top of people who I know actually have my well-being in mind.
Have you considered that it may not actually be Coraline?
No, I can honestly say I haven't considered that because that's not a normal thing that crosses my mind when I meet people that I've already met before is, wow, maybe this isn't actually them. Typically, I assume it's the person it looks like. I mean, granted, yeah, I will double, next time I see him, I'll give him a look over and try to ask him a trick question.
I don't
But
just
again,
mean...
not typically the first thought that comes to mind.
I don't only mean in the literal sense. I mean also in the sense that a lot can change in a short period of time. He may even be under the influence of some stronger external force that we're not aware of yet. I don't necessarily think that my brother is evil. I don't think that he would try to hurt you, hurt any of us, hurt me, as much as he may despise me. But I do think that something is not right here.
I agree. This might not be
You
much
hate
coming
elves,
from.
Mahi.
I know that was just fixed to say this might not might not be much coming from me,
It's
and
not.
from you sharing what you said, I can see how it'd be hard to imagine a man like that, good-hearted, do anything nefarious, but
That would
it
just
could
mean that most of
possibly
my
be
life is
he's
a
being-
lie.
I just kind of shuts up and kind of looks, like does the thing where he looks at the ground. You can tell he's thinking about something.
At this point, Angelo, did you go back to the inn?
Yeah, I would try to find them in the square, but if I didn't find them in the square, I'd be going back to the inn.
All right. I'll say if your intention is that you went to the square first,
Yeah, because it wasn't just like a quick scan. Like he probably walked around the square trying to find them.
He probably
Alright, no
said,
worries.
wait, where'd they go?
everyone continue.
Wait a second.
Everyone continue for a few more.
Could you two hold on one moment? And Pyth is gonna look at Tavith and Mahi and just, I've told you two what you need to know. Do you mind if I speak with Tor alone for a moment?
No problem.
Mahi walks out, or goes to walk out.
Do you walk out of the
Yeah.
building? Or?
Yes. No, not out of the building, out of the room.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably head down to the bar.
I'm gonna mumble, but he's so handsome.
You think evil can't be evil?
And Pite's gonna also call after them, just kind of like keeping her voice low, but like enough that they can hear her, just like. And let's not talk about this exchange with our new companion.
Thumbs up for Mahi.
Sure, raises my maul.
Okay.
I don't know if that was a threat.
No, but like a yeah, gotcha kind of raise.
Come on, Tubbies. Let's go get a drink. At least I'm getting a drink.
Sounds
Mahi walks out.
Me Mahi go down.
Pyth is gonna stand up and like close the door behind him, and then look back at Tor.
I get what you're saying. I get that you and your brother have history. I didn't hear it at Candlekeep, but I know there's history there. But I'm telling you, I can't distrust him.
What can I do to give you a reason to trust me more than you trust him?
I don't know.
Not that the person that you knew was something that he was not, but that the person here, in this scenario, manipulating this situation, is not who you think he is. Or at the very least, that I am being genuine in telling you that I do not trust him, and it doesn't just come from the fact that I have a checkered past with him.
Honestly, Pythavin, there's not much you can say or do right now. I spent years with Coraline, and I've known you for a week and a half. And if we're being honest, maybe half of our exchanges have been pleasant. I don't dislike you, and I don't distrust you. I trust that you have the best interest in mind for the group. But I don't trust you more than Coraline. I don't want you to take it personally, because it's not really anything against you. I know you genuinely think that we should distrust Coraline, but I can't.
Pike just goes and sits back down. At the very least, I wouldn't trust Angelo. And you don't know him either. You have no reason to trust him.
I don't know him very well. His mustache is very nice, though. Which has nothing to do with trusting versus distrusting him. It was just a statement.
Nice.
For I trust this man with my life because he has an awesome mustache.
I trust this man with my entire being.
The real problem is
I love him.
The problem is she trusts
I do.
Coraline with her entire being, and if Coraline trusts this man, she does automatically kind of trust him, but she's trying not to say that in front of Pite, so she's like, yeah, I didn't know him. You're right.
Of course.
I love him for the man he almost is.
For what it's worth, Pythavin, I trust you more than I trust Angelo.
Pike just kind of just staring down at her hands at this point, and then kind of just starts fidgeting with her amulet.
Oh, speaking of which, the book he picked out was on the deities of Faerun.
I
Something tells
stops.
me he's digging into you.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a heads up.
Well, Tor, I'd be inclined to share more with you, perhaps, if you could keep the secret. No
That's
offense.
fair. That's fair. I do understand. I don't try to. It's just I don't know. It's just somebody says something, and when I know the answer, it just comes out. It's not intentional. It just happens. But I understand.
Well, if there is nothing that I can do to change your mind, then there is no point in having this conversation.
No. Well, see you around. And Tor turns for the door.
It doesn't say anything.
And Tor heads out and heads to her room to basically start reading her book.
All right.
Hello.
So, Angelo, at this point, you've kind of circled around the square. Before you given up your search and realizing that they're nowhere here, and your intent is to go back to the inn.
Yes.
So you pass by the shrine, and as you do, you see the elderly woman.
Why is this woman so sus?
Sitting
I
there.
trust her with my entire being.
No!
Stop it.
She's sitting there accordingly with her box out. At this point, it's getting dark, and so the lamplighters are out. And it's more that bluish kind of hue time of nighttime. The moon is bright though, and you're seeing plenty of stars out. So the area is fairly well lit. You watch as you kind of walk past her limping. She holds her box out to you, and she goes, "Now, you look like a man that has a lot of coppers for their thoughts."
I regret to say I do not have copper. And I put a gold piece into her thing.
She kind of shakes it a little bit, kind of watch it kind of bob up and down. She goes and reaches in, pulls out the coin. She kind of takes the coin and she looks at it, kind of flips it over, and looks on the back end of it, and then kind of looks at you. And she leans over and she goes, "Now I know a man driven by luck when I see one. Tell me, has misfortune fallen upon you recently?"
Not recently, no. Not recently.
But in your past.
Of course. I believe everyone has dealt with fortune and misfortune.
She kind of nods.
I do have a question for you.
She sits back down and she looks up at you.
You are a cleric. Yes? Or no?
Mhm.
Can you mind your business, Angelo? Damn it, my dice tower.
What?
She kind of leans against her staff and she kind of holds it with kind of both hands and leans into it. Goes, "I've been here for hundreds of years, taking care of this here shrine. When this was an actual temple, then a shrine." She kind of looks around.
That
Lots
is a long time.
change. Indeed. One might say that I've, just been lucky.
I would say so. I do have a question. I do not want to bore you with my inquiries, and it's also getting to a time that I must be returning to my inn. But How much can you tell me about Talos?
My
Kind of looks
choice.
at you. Oh no. She kind of
It
looks
really
around
does.
a little
Oh, my
bit,
dice toe.
and she looks a little nervous, and she kind of leans in there, and she goes, "Oh, a little knowledge wouldn't hurt anybody.
It is what I am after.
What do you want to know?"
What does... Since I know you are a cleric, and you are not a cleric of Talos, and I know that, but,
More or no?
what would a cleric of Talos be required to do, or believe they should do?
Well, first of all, one thing you got to know about Talos. It's kind of like a secret club. You don't talk about Talos. That's rule number 1. Rule number
course.
2. Pretend to speak about somebody else.
Of course.
Them boys
That
been
follows.
terrorizing the Sword Coast up and down for even longer than I've been around. And that's saying something. I'd stay clear of any of them fellers if I were you.
Not morally upstanding people, I'm assuming?
Not unless you like to live real close to the lightning.
Kind of looks up to the sky. I've never been fond of lightning.
Well, lucky for you. The sky looks pretty clear to me tonight, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
I feel like they're talking in code and I don't have the key.
I do.
Well,
She flips the coin back to you.
I catch it.
Talos, I think, shines upon you tonight.
Talos.
Not sorry.
Uh-oh!
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no! Lightning just strikes Angelo.
Tamora. Get my accent messed up. Tamora shines upon you this evening, I think. And she
Thank
kind
you.
of stops a little bit, and she all of a sudden gets real serious. And she kind of looks around, and she leans in, goes, "Be careful, son. I think you're messing with some things that you might not mess with."
That's just what I do. But fortunately, I think Tamora might be on my side. At least for tonight.
What is it that you're searching for?
Answers. The truth.
Well, I think this might help you in your direction. But if ever your travels lead you up north, there's a druid up there. It's a friend of mine. It's in an old town called Thunder Tree.
Thunder Tree.
You tell Sister Garrity told you. She says hi. If you make your way over to him, he might be able to share some information in regards to what you seek.
Do you have a name for this druid?
She kind of laughs a little bit. You probably recognize him when you see him. Look for a man named Redolph.
Man.
And she kind of smiles and goes, "He's a rather woodsy fella. Many people get lost in the woods. Something in the woods that you're looking to find, he'd be the one to help you do it.
Of course, I will keep that in mind.
And then she flips you another coin.
I catch
That's
it.
just my 2 cents. Do with it what you will.
Again, I appreciate this talk. Oh, also, forgive my
She turns,
lack
but
of
then
manners.
she turns back to you.
What is your name?
Folks around here call me Sister Girly.
It is nice to meet you.
Likewise.
Have a good night.
You do as well.
Now I'm gonna head into the inn.
All right. I don't know if I want to move forward. Or how are you guys feeling right now?
I
I'm
need,
good.
Everyone, what?
I need to pee.
What'd you say?
Yeah. How are you all feeling right now? Do you want to continue or
I'm tired.
I'm okay.
tired?
Ah,
I got attacked by a fly this morning, and so I didn't get to sleep in because the fly kept trying to like go in my ear.
That sounds like a
All right.
problem.
It was a me problem. It was the worst problem.
If Tor is the sleepy, I say let's end it for tonight.
He's saying this because he's about to start something.
okay.
The only reason he would ask us at this time would be because he's about to start something in the morning. So that's why I think we should stop now. That way we don't end up being 4 o'clock.
Cool.
Hey, recording
It
down.
may not go that far.